overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet
Hi there. They call me the governor, and I am here with a pretty full house. of folks who want to talk about the ones who live. So before we get into this discussion, because I know there's going to be talk, especially about the horizontal mambo that we witnessed and some other positions, let's go around and have everybody introduce themselves. So, Kiava, introduce yourself, please. You're the newbie.
Hi, I'm Kiava, also known as the Book Geek. It's my first time here. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Awesome. Joy.
Hey, Joy from Brooklyn, noirnerdy.com. Happy to be here. This is the episode we've been waiting for. We're going to dig in.
Yeah, you've been waiting for Bebe.
Hey, I'm Baby Rose, and cut the short. I can't wait to talk about this episode.
That's what I like to hear. Karina?
Hi, Karina Tootie Tours on Twitter. I'm super excited, as we all are, so let's get to it.
Alex?
Hi, everybody. I'm TWD Mombie. I'm so happy to be here this week and talk about this episode.
Ms. Kayla? Oh, we can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Oh, the joys of technology.
Oh,
Well, while you figure out why your microphone's not working, why don't Michond, you introduce yourself, and then we'll come back to Ms. Kayla.
Hi.
Always a smile.
You know, it's just Michonne, thoroughly enjoying my favorite type of content that it just happened in my favorite show is creating by my favorite people, and that's on Deny.
Awesome. Ms. Kayla, have you figured it out yet? Are you on a PC or
PC.
if you click on the I wonder if she put anything in the chat. If you click on the up arrow by mute, if you're on a PC or a Mac, you should be able to see what microphones you have. Yes, I'm doing tech support during a live stream.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can,
Okay,
yes.
that's good. All right.
See,
All
I
right.
do good tech support during live streams.
All right. I'm Kayla, y'all. Miss Kayla to some of y'all. And I'm so excited about this episode. Like it finally happened, what I wanted to happen. So yay. I'm so excited to talk about it. So let's get to it.
Yeah, and I think something happened that Rick wanted to have happen because it's been 9 years since he busted a nut. But anyway.
Oh my God.
Baby, don't give me that look. This whole episode is about practically everyone's going to be
I'm
focused
just being
in
prepared.
on that scene. So, all right. So last week, and we got to see it again, Michonne drags Rick out of a fucking helicopter.
Indeed. She sure did.
It's like, and he had that little, that was hilarious. That almost sounded genuine. I bet they actually fooled him into making that noise. Instead of being like, you know, it was like, wow. Tomas said he's trying to be here. Awesome. The more the merrier. So, and they come into this place. So, initial impressions, you will get to the scene that I know Michonne wants to talk about. And
Oh,
we
no,
all
I
wanna talk
got
about.
stuff about the whole episode.
The whole thing. The whole thing.
The whole
domestic
package.
squabble. But,
The whole episode.
yeah, let's start us off. Tell us about your first impressions of the initial scenes of this episode.
My first impressions, I thought it was phenomenal. Denai really put her foot in this episode. It was incredible. Brilliant writing. I loved it.
Very cool. Joy, what did you think?
More than we could have hoped for. Answered questions. There was the angst. There was the love. There was the romance. There was the battle. It was intense. It was everything that we needed for Michonne to be back as one. And Denai didn't play.
She did not. Well, they kind of played for a while, but we'll get there. Bebe.
What was the question?
No, for real. What was the
first
question?
few scenes, we got the opener with
Oh,
them
okay.
getting out of the water
First of all,
and confronting a Roomba.
the song that was playing, I was wondering what that song like. Tie your yellow ribbon around the oak tree. And I was like, oh, that's from Jamie Foxx's movie Held Up. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm hearing that song.
You can tell the age when people are like, oh, that's from Jamie Foxx's movie, and not,
Yeah, and I was like, I should feel sorry because I
should.
should be knowing that song, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. But what I love about it is that, Michonne just like saying, like, look, we're gonna resolve what we need to resolve. We're gonna get to it. It's like that whole couples being in a room, locked in a room. We're gonna fight, whatever, but since we love each other, we're gonna get to a resolution. How we gonna deal with it?
We needed a timeout.
Yeah, I was like, we need a freaking timeout.
Karina.
I gotta say, Denai and Andy really have raised the bar for the fandom, for the whole TWD universe. This amazing episode is what happens when you let people who know their characters take over and do what needs to be done. Those other series better be on notice because the bar is to the moon. It's to the moon.
Absolutely. Alex. Sorry, TWD Mombie. What do you want me to call you?
I mean,
You were the
call me
face.
whatever. I've been called worse. Okay, so I really loved the beginning of this episode. I thought that picking up exactly where we left off was exactly what we needed. And I was really happy to see that they landed in water, first of all. So they were okay. And I was very puzzled and confused about the apartment that they ran into. I was like, wait a second, is this Rick's apartment? Is this Jadis's apartment? Whose apartment is this? And then as we went on, I realized I wasn't the only one that didn't know where they were. They didn't either. So it was pretty interesting how everything was so smart, but there was no food. So I don't know. They really lucked out there.
But it was very clean. Miss Kayla.
Yeah, very.
Okay, there's not much I can say about this episode because I'm speechless still about it. It was so good, and Andy's acting was like, I was like blown away by it. Like he almost made me cry. Like I don't know. I was just so excited to watch the episode. Like it's like excitement and not that much emotion because I'm so excited about it. But I really wanted to cry, and Jack almost made me cry from watching his reaction. So, but yeah, like the acting was great, and let's see, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just so excited to talk about everything about it, but I like hearing y'all talk about it more.
All right, Michonne. Unleash the Kraken.
Let me tell you something, because you already know I got a lot to say. The devil is in the details for me. I pay attention to everything, and because this is my favorite shit, I be looking at it. It's the nuances. When they found their way into these luxury apartments, first of all, shout out to them people before they all starved to death. However they starved to death, looked like they was doing good till they starved. He literally, the first thing he did was look for his PRB on his hip. That was the first thing he did when he got in the apartment. Like, Rick is still a caged animal. Michonne got him up out of it, but that was the first thing he did was look for his PRB. And she was like, oh, you lost yours. And she put hers right in her damn pocket. Hilarious. Another thing with the opening scene, I don't know if people catch on to this, but let me tell y'all something. One thing about Michonne, she gonna get comfortable wherever she was at. They was just in the lake, a raging river, wherever they was at, soaking wet. First thing she did was go in them folks' closet and put on some clean, dry clothes.
Rick was watching.
Like when she, and it just made me think about when she ate Morgan peanut butter bar. But one thing about Michonne, she is gonna get comfortable no matter where she at. And Rick was looking and he was like, oh my God, I've missed a lot of shit when he saw that she was branded on her fucking back. But yeah, them opening scenes, it's all the little details.
Yeah, and I'm glad they kept that detail. They kept that detail in. I'm glad that they didn't skip over the fact that, it's a whole universe. Tomaj is here. Say hi to everybody.
I made it. My bad, y'all. I made it.
Now we look
You
like
ain't
the
missed
Brady
nothing.
Bunch, and Karina is Alice. On my
We
screen.
got Book Geek in the house. Shout out to Book Geek.
Hey, boo.
Yep. So we were just talking about thoughts about the initial scenes. So do you want
Look at
to?
his face.
Listen,
He already
Denied.
cheated, bro.
listen. Michonne was pissed off. It's just something about a mad black woman that'll scare the shit out you. Look, Rick
Okay.
couldn't say nothing. It was just the eyes for me from both of them. Rick was scared, and Michonne looking like, now you know you fucked up.
Yes.
Oh,
Rick was in the
I was like-
doghouse.
oh, he knew. As soon as she opened the helicopter door and grabbed him, he knew it was over. Such a good opening scene. That set the tone for the episode. I was ready after that point.
Yeah. I wanted to just circle back to the song what Bebe brought up, and it's by Dawn, tie a yellow ribbon around an old oak tree. But it was a song that so it's about a prisoner that's leaving to go home, and that he's wondering whether his wife and his family has waited for him. And so it's about his nerves leading into that situation. So he's literally on the bus and he's so scared to look because he's wondering, is he going to see these ribbons around the tree? And it was the song choice was perfect because it also relayed back to during the Vietnam War, a lot of the soldiers who were held captive, or they felt that they were kind of captive because they were drafted into the war. They used that song for themselves to like galvanize themselves when it was time to go back home after their stints in the war. And so it just meshed perfectly with Rick's circumstance, and that Michonne was there wrapping those trees with the yellow ribbon, welcoming him, and he was just kind of in a space where he was scared to look and notice what was happening. So it just was perfect just to start. And then the apartment was the perfect touch because it's gonna tie into sequences that happen later, that it puts Rick back into like that dream state that he had been in, and that when he's in that place, he's thrown off kilter because is this real again? So it was just perfect. All of just the beginning sequence, like it's so much in that space. I thought that there would be some people who would be like, oh, I wanted to see them, swim out the water and venture to the apartment. It was like, no, we didn't need any of that.
No.
Give us the tiny little glimpses, boom, the water.
This has been no filler.
Yeah, like let's
Zero.
just get to we need to get right to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
and quick, speaking
I
of which,
didn't get a chance to talk about
I just wanted to
my
say one
thoughts.
thing. I just wanted to say before I press play, I said I don't want to see nobody but Rick and Michonne this whole fucking episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to see my new favorite character, the Roomba. I mean, that guy, he has been faithfully cleaning those floors for years. I hope he made it out. I mean, I saw him trying to clean up towards the end of the episode, and he is my new favorite character. He's up there with,
Red Machete.
Yeah, Red Machete and the tiger. Why am I forgetting the tiger? Shiva. He's up there, I don't think he was CGI, though, but that was awesome. And, of course, later on we find out Michonne had one. She's a fancy dancy lawyer. But, yeah, that whole thing where I'm like, I was a little bit on Rick's side that, if they came and examined the crash and figured out that he and Michonne weren't burnt up, unless they figured he was thrown from the helicopter, I was a little bit on his side, but then later on, it was like, no, they're not examining shit for the wreckage, no. So
I don't think Jadis would have believed it either way.
Exactly.
She's not gonna believe it.
She's
not gonna believe they're dead.
She like us. She need to see the body.
You need to see, yeah.
So did
Yeah,
the chopper
but-
go down because of the her opening the door?
No, I think it was a weather.
It was the storm. Terrible storm. They crashed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why
Because
he
it
was
went
like,
down
you
like in the same
saved
spot
us.
as them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was like, "You
they
saved
got out
us."
moments before it crashed. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
And you know too.
So you don't think Jadis is going to be convinced? Because it's not like they examined the wreckage.
Let me
No,
tell you,
Jadis needs to double check for herself because she knows that even
Michonne is there.
because she can't say to the rest of the CRM because they're following protocol automatically. The protocol is to destroy any evidence that they exist. So if she goes to them and says, "Hey, don't destroy this evidence. I need to check and see are these two people in this plane," that puts the light on her.
Yeah.
She can't. She just has to go out there and check because she knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And she knows which way they're going, so
Let me tell you
it could be a
something.
quick helicopter fly that way.
I-
See if
I
I
have
see any
this-
bodies.
This vision of Michonne and Rick finally seeing the gates of Alexandria
And the helicopter
coming closer, and out from behind a tree steps Jadis, and she's like, "Hey, Rick, ready to put out now or what? Come on, you know."
You know, I'm hoping.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm hoping that all the fuck shit is on the way home, so that way when we get home we can rest. Because I always watch the inside the episode. Gimple was like, "We could have ended the episode there, but it's Walking Dead." I'm like, I know you got some fuck shit. Long as they get home and don't nobody die, I'm with all the fuck shit.
But
yeah,
the thing that
it's
gives
gonna go
me
down.
the thing that gives me comfort is most of our people aren't there. Just Rick and Michonne don't know that yet. So even if worst case happens and they do bomb or destroy Alexandria, our people, the kids, none of them is there. So, but it would be devastating for them because their initial reaction is going to be, "We just lost everybody." So I don't want them to do that. But I know also like they destroyed the sets like in real life, so we can't go back there. So I'm wondering if they're going to do that just as an excuse to kind of like, I don't never have to show Alexandria again, because kind of like with Dead City, they didn't show Hilltop; they called it the Bricks or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to redesign it if they do decide to show Alexandria. So
Wait,
I'm just wondering.
I mean, they
Can
could
y'all
always
answer that
build the
question?
outer fence and knock that up, or even
Right.
Did Carol go to the Commonwealth in the beginning? I feel like Carol didn't go in the beginning, or did she? And she played old lady. Because Carol is the one on the radio that was like, "So and so came back," and people keep saying, "Is it Morgan or is it Rick?"
Yeah, she's there because remember.
Oh yeah, she had the kids. She was taking the kids
Yeah,
to school.
Zeke is the head of the and then Carol and what's my other boyfriend?
Mercer.
Mercer. Or
You forgot your man's name?
yeah,
Right.
that's why I'm like, oh my god,
Oh,
there's so
man.
much Rick on the brain right now. So much Rick and Michonne on the brain right now. I'm like, oh my god. But
I think
you
if
know,
it was
when
Rick,
they're in
she would've
town,
said it
it's
right
going
away.
down, so he gotta go. So
Was it just Aaron that was at Alexandria? It
Yeah,
was
that's
only like a
it's only
handful of
Aaron.
people.
Yeah, it's only Aaron that stayed there.
well, I don't think there was a handful of people. I think it was a fully
And
outfitted.
Gabriel and Baby Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I think those are the
Oh,
only ones.
yeah.
that
But you know what I would love to
What-
see, and this has nothing to do with this episode, but I would love to see like Jadis come out with a bunch of CRM troopers, and then they turn around, it's a bunch of the stormtroopers from the Commonwealth, all
Bama
pointing
troopers,
guns at
yeah.
them. It's like, you got a problem? That's what I want. I want to see that confrontation. But
I'm hoping that Jadis don't even know about the Commonwealth, because that's she don't need to know shit else about us. But if she do, kill the bitch before she can go tell somebody.
Do y'all think before, if she hadn't gone to the CRM, that she would infiltrate herself to the Commonwealth if she hadn't known about CRM at all?
I think she wanted to survive, and she would, work with anybody to, keep her, and not necessarily her people, because her people,
Gone.
she doesn't seem all that sad about them being massacred. So
I don't think that she would have fit in at the CW because remember they have a caste system. They would have figured out that she was a teacher beforehand. She wouldn't have been in the rankings. She wouldn't have been able to maneuver the way she is in the CRM. So her being there wouldn't have worked.
You just made a point. That's a fact. She wouldn't have been with none of that shit. That's why she used Rick to turn him in so she could get in good. She skipped some steps.
Yeah.
But moving on with this episode, so yeah, that fight was pretty epic. That arguing back and forth between those two, and then Michonne just like, fine, you do what you want to do. When she walked out of that,
Wait.
But yeah, I was like, wait, we skipped past some stuff.
When I really liked the comparison that Michonne made between that book and Judith, and
I
then
was just
how
about
she
to bring
started
that up.
talking about the children.
I was just about to bring
oh
that
yeah,
up.
that slip. I was like, oh, she said children. Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag.
She was like, nigga, you don't even know what the fuck I done. But I'm talking about, this was her energy. This is one thing that I've always loved about Denai. She don't even have to talk. Oh, she don't even gotta talk. But
that's why I said, like, the part that you were talking about, Michonne, with when she's changing her clothes, because that also is another piece of nuance that shows that Michonne immediately was like, not just about her being wet. She was just like, I'm getting out of these clothing.
Yeah.
Like,
literally, she instantly took that shit off.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be associated with the CRM any longer than necessary. And so, it shows that divide between her and Rick, because he keeps that gear on. His first instinct, we know that he's on protocol at that moment, because his first instinct is PRB.
I was so happy he have it.
Yeah, and that's why you kind of see that moment in his face, which Andy and Denai both did their thing on this episode, but you see that moment in his face when he realizes it's not there. It's a fear that now he has to make decisions for himself. He can't just go with what has been taught to him. Now he has to decide what he's going to do. And he knows that, like you said, that scene when Michonne, like, she's changing again. The regulation panties was too much. I needed a little cheek.
But the ass was still sitting though. The ass was still sitting though.
I feel like, sir, you know you are in the doghouse and you're just gonna slink your way over here and stare at me while I'm changing my clothes. You can go to hell.
Right. And he was looking at her. It's like he loved it, but he was fucking terrified. Like, he's literally in this weird fucking limbo.
He's
like,
programmed.
He is literally in shock. It has been 8 years. It do take a lot to beat Rick down, but Rick he ain't never been down this bad. Rick, he's in this weird transition where he's like, this shit is not real, and Michonne is like, I'm real. Hello.
I think that with Rick, I kind of find out, like, you know, first Negan had broke him and then he conquered, and then afterwards when he's trying to get all the communities together, it's kind of like that,
he was broken at the prison.
So
there's a theory of him being broken.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that from with Negan to creating the community, like with the saviors and all that kind of stuff, with Maggie and Daryl trying to do their own thing and people following suit, it's kind of like he never got a break. It's kind of like everything is broken. And then now he's taken to the CRM. It's like he never had a break.
Yeah.
Like let him be him, like Rick, the Rick Grimes. So it's like seeing Michonne, I'm gonna say Michonne. So seeing Michonne trying to say, hey, you are Rick the mother effing Grimes. Okay. Come back to our family and wake up. Okay.
You're fucking with the wrong people.
And one more thing, and sometimes with Michonne, I get both sides. And I think that Michonne doesn't understand what the CRM can do to me. And I think that maybe next episode, I don't know, maybe next episode that she kind of get like, whoa, like they are the it. Like, hey, we need to do something. So
it's like, you weren't entirely wrong, Rick.
And
you've been a little quiet.
This is my thing. This is the love of your life. Like, she know you better than Lori knew you. Like, Rick has had conversations with Michonne and has literally given this lady his whole fucking heart, which is why he like, this shit is not real, because if something happens to her, I'm going to fucking kill myself. Like, he don't even want to let himself have it, because he's going to fucking kill himself if something happened to Michonne. We know this. So that's why he in this weird limbo, because first of all, he's still in shock. But it's trying to lie to a lawyer is crazy. Oh shit, that's what I was trying to say. Trying to lie to a lawyer and somebody that's the love of your life is crazy. She know you lying, sir. You can't lie to her.
Yeah.
Well, Rick's never been good at communication, and the thing is, he was lying to himself, and that's the thing.
Yeah, she said, you're lying to me and you. Trying to lie to a lawyer that's also the love of your life is crazy. You're not gonna, even though I know you was, if I knock this light over one more time, I'm gonna cut this shit off.
We'll just see a black
but that's
square.
The thing that, like they was saying, that Rick always, Michonne is always like the person who pulls him back every time.
Every time.
Even if you go back to the prison, she shows up right when he was in the cusp of him losing his mind.
And what
She's
did she
always
say?
been the one.
I see my dead boyfriend.
Yeah, I talked to my dead boyfriend. It happens.
Well,
She's
Winter
always
Fire-
been the one who pulls him back.
Winter Fire is
And
saying
Michonne-
Lincoln's portrayal of the PTSD so amazing, and the military wives have been writing about this episode and relating to Michonne. So,
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say Michonne, she doesn't care either about the bigger threats. Like she
At all.
fears
Yeah.
nobody. So his fear is not her fear. She's like, we can get through this. If we got to take him out, that's what we got to do. If we got to go back and find Jada's file and destroy her. That's what we gonna do. She's like, whatever it takes, let's do it because we can do it. Like, but he's not there. And it takes me back to I think season 8 when she was talking. I don't know if it was Maggie and Rosita. When she says Rick doesn't always understand me, but eventually he does. And that's what I had in my head the whole time. Like, she gonna get him there. He's gonna get there. It just takes some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was
She knows
talking-
him best.
He was steady talking about the CRM for the first 3 quarters, and she said, "They are not your responsibility."
well,
At
actually,
all.
that kind of threw me because she came in and was like, "Can we stop these people?" Like she was taking on that responsibility to take out the CRM because they were just killing people. They were just, they're the bad guys.
That's-
So
Her
and
introduction
then-
to them is chlorine gas. That's her introduction to the CRM.
But then
and she was pissed.
She was like, "They're not your responsibility. We can just leave them." And it's unlikely that they'll come to Alexandria and all that. Which I was like, I thought that she was more like, yeah, if we escape, we're coming back with a bomb or something. We're taking these fuckers out, But
Well,
But
correct
that's
me if
not
I'm
a
wrong.
bomb.
Her first instinct was to ask Rick, "Can we stop them?" Like
Yeah.
she wanted to end them. Like she's not.
Yeah.
and then
these
can we
threats already.
try?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So,
that's
her-
why it
yeah.
kind
her-
of threw me that she was like, "They're not your responsibility."
Yeah, because it's a combination for her. Like she sees how deep Rick is in his reprogramming. So she has to prioritize. The first thing she needs to do is jailbreak her husband first.
Yeah.
She can't put what's going on with that community on first, because if she continues to say to him, like, we can fix the CRM, we can change the CRM, that keeps his mind in the CRM.
Yeah.
She needs to get him fully out of it and then say, now that he's back on track with going home and being with his family, now we can fix something there. Now we can try to do something there. You got to tackle them. You got to put them in order of priority.
And when
Get
she
them out of
realizes,
priority.
and when she realizes he's got the Commonwealth Army, all right, because
He needed to understand why he is the way he is with them first, to understand. And then she found out because he told her straight up what it was that broke him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had to. Only Michonne can point it out of him. This is what I was about to say. Rick, one thing about Michonne can always stand on her own, and she can do both. Everybody can't do both. Daryl and Michonne are 2 people that can be by themselves and be perfectly fine. Rick be needing people, because even think about it, he would always need approval from Lori to do stuff, and that's their relationship. Pre-apocalypse wasn't together. I would be so mad when Rick would need Lori's approval for something. Oh my God, I would be so mad because that wasn't the right balance. But he has Michonne, and she is the better half of him, and he need her. If we just gonna keep it a stack. Don't nobody bring that dog out of Rick like Michonne. Don't nobody bring the best out of Rick like Michonne. It has been proven since season 3 that Michonne makes Rick better. And this is a prime example of that. Who else could have pulled him out of that like that?
She had to
Because
storm out. She had to
was
make him think he was
persistent.
going to lose her.
She was persistent but gentle at the same time, which I really, because they was in the time crunch. Like she was like, "Nigga, you better quit playing with me," but at the same, she balanced it so well, pulling that out of him. Like,
and it's a lot on her. It's a lot on her to put what she's going through, what she's experiencing,
exactly,
to the side. Like that's what is her battle, and that's what Denai again does a phenomenal job with that, with just expression, just the pain, the anguish on her face, the wariness, and the whole circumstance that she loves this man so much that she's willing to, for the most part, try to push her priorities to the side to bring him back. And so that's kind of like what leads into when she accidentally says children to him.
Right.
You've become quite the poet lately.
You guys have kind of skipped over the whole sex scene before she.
No, that was we ain't at that part yet.
I'm talking about her storming out.
We ain't at that part yet.
We still at them like going
Yeah, but they're talking
still-
about she pulled it out of him. She didn't pull out the real reasons.
No, but I'm saying
after
she
the
was.
sex. 'Cause
She's
then
been
he
working.
couldn't think anymore.
She's been working on him since she found him. He's still in shock. She been working on it, and so Denai described it as a cocoon. She said they were either going to come out of here as moths or butterflies.
Right.
They needed this moment. That's why she said, "Bring your ass here, because we got shit to talk about." If they never would have had a moment alone, they wouldn't have been able to have that.
Man, but can I say this though? When they when Michonne, there we go again. Michonne left, telling him like you lying. There's something deeper. And then he, went after her. I know everybody was like, man, go after her. Eventually he does. But when they start going tit for tat, like,
yes,
like,
that was funny.
That was funny to me. And I just love it shows how a healthy relationships should be. It ain't all honeymoons, flowers, and everything. That you going to yell and whatnot, and somebody get on your nerves. You be like, dude, and then let me through. It's like, who you think you talking to? So I'm talking to you. Move, commando, defense.
That was when I tell you that was so
why
funny.
was he pointing out he wasn't wearing any underwear? That's what I want to know. Oh, different commando. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw some lightness into this.
She was definitely getting themselves in on him, even with the conversation when she brought up Nat after, because she's completely thrown off when they see the helicopter is there crashed into the building, and she's just like, oh, we can go home, like everything's perfect. Like I gave you the plan, like this is what we'll do. We'll get rid of Jadis, we'll do all of these things, and he's still like, oh, because that's how she gags him on that part, because when he's like, oh, I could go back to the CRM and do all these things. And she's like, yeah, because, what happened to my friend Nat and how they gassed us, what they did to us. And,
she did that to him twice.
Your people did to my friends. And he's like, that's not my people. Yes, it is, because you just was talking real tough just now.
Yeah. You know what she had to do? She had to she had to tell him everything he was saying coming from her mouth so he could see that the shit don't make sense. Like everything that he would say, she would repeat it to him. So we're going to do this. You don't want to come home, even though they think we dead. Because maybe like everything throughout the entire episode, she was she was slowly working on him the whole time. Like, this shit don't make sense, right? But she still gave him his autonomy at the same time, because she didn't have to give him that PRB, but she let him make his decision. And she gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't have to.
When I saw the helicopter was crashed, my thought was, what if they examine the wreckage? What if they figure out there's not enough bodies in there?
Yeah, they wouldn't even risk it.
But then later on,
they would have
they
checked
just went,
before they bombed it.
And they didn't care.
No, they don't get enough fuck, because they're not about to bring all of their resources there to send a team to go through that building to find who might be in there.
Yeah, because they're setting up the summit right now. They're not going to divert somebody to do all of that. Like, it's not even worth it to them. They're like, whatever, we lost a couple soldiers and we just going about our business.
Do you think the summit's still going to play a part in this?
Yeah.
This ain't the end. We're going to see Jadis again. We're going to see Jadis again. I don't care what nobody say. And I need that whole
she's stationed there for the summit. So, yeah.
They're somewhere. All we know is they somewhere in between that day and a half trip from Philly to the new place. They somewhere in there, in the middle, because they didn't make it back to Philly. So they
I hope you bought enough for everybody.
I was sure about to ask him what he eating.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna make it to y'all in time.
Ooh, what piece is that?
From Marco's.
It look good.
Starving.
I don't even know who Marco is.
Well, the other week when you weren't here, I had Pizza Hut and boneless wings. So, yeah.
Cool. Talking Eat TV, where your food?
Oh, I ate right before we got on here. You know, I had to get my strength up. I was literally eating and rewatching the episode, screaming as if it wasn't my 5th time watching it. Like literally.
Because I wanted to talk about, because we were talking about, the part when Michonne finally leaves out the apartment, and I just wanted to make sure people remember about, like, her pain in that moment, because her past, what we know about Michonne from when we first met her is that she had a boyfriend. She had a boyfriend, she had a child, and now she's put in a circumstance where the man that she thought was completely the opposite would do anything for his wife and his children, for him to tell her to go.
Yeah.
Like, that destroys her in that moment, because she has to get to that place where she was probably in that same place with Mike before, where she's thinking like, oh, he'll just get on board eventually. And for her to come back scavenging to find out that the place that they were at was overrun. Her
And this
child
nigga let their baby get big.
Yeah, and for
Who
her to
grown ass men.
Yeah, for her to go through that type of heartbreak, and for her to kind of be in that place where it's like, do I continue this with Rick? Is there a way for me to pull him out of this? Or do I just need to go back to my kids? Because I don't want to be in a situation where I allow my kids to be by themselves or hurt or,
or raised by
all of
Daryl.
these situations, because I put that, because I did that with Andre, where I trusted him to be with his father, and then this is what happened to him. So she's in that situation. Right. So like when she got down that hallway and she like stops, the tremble in Denai's face alone,
that was a great, for a scene that nothing really was happening. That was a really powerful scene.
Yes, it was.
Like,
I was screaming.
After me? Should I go back? What am I?
Yeah.
She got to stand on business and be like, I know you going through something, but let me tell you something. Michonne's trauma is never lost on me. Like, we know Rick didn't had his trauma, but if we was gonna stack it up side by side, Michonne has had it worse than Rick. If we're gonna stack it up side by side, but she just got a different type of mental stability than Rick do.
She do, because you see, she was about to break down when she brought up Andre, but she compartmentalized. She said, I'm not gonna go there. I have to focus.
She said, because I want to go home to my son, even if he don't want to. I'm gonna go home.
And Michonne don't give up, and part of her cannot fail. Like, I've taken away a year from our kids. Like, I cannot fail here. I'm not going home without you. It just doesn't work. So, but I want to jump ahead, but I ain't gonna do that. Keep going.
Her trauma is never lost on me. It's like, Rick just been trying to get home. She was pregnant. You vanished into thin air. That's a whole completely different type of trauma. Raising a child, looking at this boy every single day, and he ain't never even get to see you before. And you never even knew she was pregnant.
Yeah.
That's a different type of trauma. And then to come after him and him to be in this weird limbo phase that I don't really know how to describe, but him being in shock, but him being happy, but he's like, I can't allow myself to have this, because if something happened to her, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. So she dealing with a lot on her own,
and it's kind of like
she just trying to get him on the same page, because once they on the same page, they can work the rest out.
It's kind of like, she's been looking for him, like you said, she's been looking for him since,
every day.
He's gone. And it's kind of like, what, I fought. It's kind of like, you got to fight for me.
Thank you.
I couldn't do this on my own, because she was about, and when she looked at the walkers from outside, it's kind of like that decision, like, should I keep going?
I thought she was about to turn one into her pets with the chains when she was staring at that walker through the glass. I said they got to go on 2 ropes, but
I'm like, but I'm just like, but Rick, in a way stopped her, in a way, stuff like that, saying like, hey, I need you, and what have you, but
he wasn't that fucked up. He was like, wait.
Even when she just immediately started going towards the door, that look on his face, he was like, oh, she really like that.
When Andy do that look, when his eyes be, oh my God, I can't even describe it, but y'all know what look I'm talking about. That look that he do.
What I told her to do. My God, she's actually
like, I can't believe she's listening to
what are you trying to say, Tamaj? Because I know I interrupt you when we interrupt you so bad. So I'm sorry. What you trying to say?
I forgot. I was gonna say something like
Samaj was like, whatever y'all started talking about that, it was I was in that.
Right.
Eating the food got too good. I was gonna say something like it was just fun watching Michonne tackle, it from every angle. She's like, okay, this is not working, let's go here. All right, let me try to compromise. We can go back there. That's just what you want to do. But we gonna fuck some shit up. And Rick, he wasn't budging. He's like, nah, that ain't an option. You just got to go. And then for her to actually go, it was like, shit, she actually did it. Goddamn. I was just talking my shit. I don't know what we're going to do. But he was like, This is my last chance. I might not never see her again. Is this really what I want to do? And I love when he put his hand like above the doorknob and he was like, shit, like, hold on. He was fighting with himself. It had to be a fast fight too, because he's like, this is it. And then he made the right decision, and I love that. Even though he continued to fight even after he got to her. But
and you know, Michonne is. Let me tell you something. We know she ain't perfect, but let me tell you something. She perfect in my eyes. I don't care what to say. She always got it together. He is just hell bent on not leaving. She instantly just got to it. Fucked up the lamp, used it as a weapon, like just instantly, like got a knife out the knife block. Like I wouldn't have thought to fuck up that lamp like that and take a leg off of that lamp. That was a nice lamp. But she's always there.
You would have put it
in
on
her
day,
head.
we know.
Yeah.
Even when he doesn't want to leave,
he
just doesn't want loved ones to die.
What? Yeah, but it was just instant. She was literally cussing him out and was getting shit to leave at the same time. Like, the knife, I'm finna take this leg off this lamp because I ain't got no sword, but I can make something work with this. I said she is just always.
She's always in survival mode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
It's really just
recall,
a part of her at this point.
I did recall. I think that she did mention that Daryl was looking too, right? She did kind of mention Daryl.
Yeah. That was after.
But he didn't really respond to that. So
because your wife is telling you about the trauma that she experienced. If your spouse is telling you about the trauma they experienced, and then they mention your best friend or your brother or whatever in it, your response is not to tune in on your brother. Your response is to stay tuned in on your spouse and what they're explaining.
That she was 7 months pregnant.
Yeah,
I know he was just happy.
Well, I'm curious if they're going to have a conversation in the next episode as they're on their little road trip. So tell me about Daryl.
You got to remember, it's not a surprise to Rick that Michonne and Daryl was looking for him every day. Like, he's not surprised.
But also on the Mothership show, when that bridge blew up, they focused on Daryl's man pain. They didn't focus on Michonne. They didn't focus on Michonne. They should have focused on Michonne. So we've had enough of Daryl. Daryl got his own show. We need to focus on Michonne.
One thing about Karina, she gonna bring it back every time.
She'll never let it go.
Because that pissed me off on the flagship show when they zoomed in and did the fade to black on Daryl.
Instead
when
of
that
his
woman
wife.
just lost her husband. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
But the fact that Denai had to advocate for a scene for her and Rick to be written in the episode, I already knew they was on their bullshit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Correct, Tomash.
That's why I'm glad she's writing her own series. Love it. They need to keep that same energy for everything she
and
did.
the other spin-offs are not like, oh, let's bring up Rick and Michonne and those. So why is it that everybody else needs to be brought up in Rick and Michonne spinoff?
Exactly.
And I don't want them showing up either. I don't want that.
No.
Like, I know everybody's like, oh, I hope Morgan and this person. I don't want to see none of that.
In the
I
final
don't want to
scene,
see that
maybe.
in these next 2 episodes.
I don't want to see that either.
Oh, in
Like
the
I
final
said,
scene,
to that
if they
later.
come out of the gates of Alexandria that they mock up, that's fine. For
No,
3 seconds.
that's not a good enough final scene. I need people hugging, crying, falling all over the ground. I
Right.
need the
I
dramatic.
want to see it. I want to see it.
What if she tells them about like what happened with Tara, Enan, and Henry and Sadiq?
That's a whole nother
Oh,
conversation.
they got a lot to catch
like
up on.
They had that
I'm just saying,
conversation.
if they go to Alexandria or what have you, it's like, oh, where's Tara? Where's Eden? Like, where? Oh, yeah. What had happened was the head.
Right.
Okay, but other than that, everybody's cool.
He
They
got
found out that
Michonne.
Rosita died, and like, what?
He'll be okay because he got Michonne, Carol, Daryl, and the kids. He was closer to Glenn than he was the people that died on the sticks, so he'll be all
Let
right.
me tell you who Rick don't give a damn about. Henry.
Thank you, because I don't.
I was like,
That's true.
that's what I said. Rick don't need to have a conversation about any of those people. I'm like, as
Listen.
far as I'm concerned, as long as it ends with the Grimes family together,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't need them to be with 1,000 other people. Rick has lost so much time with his family. I want him to just be with his family.
Yes.
I just want him to be with his family. That's it. That would be the perfect ending
No,
for me.
I did find it interesting in the first part, when she mentioned the children and admitted that he had a son, and he also saw the scar on her back. He asked no questions about the son. He asked no questions about the scar. because he was basically like trying to detach himself and remain dead, so to speak.
That man was in shock. He thought he only ever had one child because he saw the scar when she was getting undressed, and he was just like, "Oh my God," trying to imagine what the fuck happened to her while I was gone.
Exactly.
And when she was like, "You've become quite the poet lately. Write a letter for our children about how you won't come back home."
Oh, the sarcasm was so thick.
He was like,
to cut it.
He was like, "Children," and then she was mad trying to walk off, and
she sucked her teeth so hard.
He was fucking shocked. That man ain't know he had kids. The only one he knew he had was gone.
Can I say this? Can I say this? Jack, how you doing?
How is everyone?
Jack. Oh.
Jack being uncharacteristically quiet.
I want to let everyone have their moment. They're excited. I want to let them relish in it. Before I come and tear it down. No, actually, this one was great.
Well, Alex has been pretty quiet. Kiara's been pretty quiet. Come on, guys. Ms. Kayla hasn't said too much.
I don't like to interrupt.
She said she likes to see what we got going on. She's like, yes, I just want to second everything you're saying.
Front row seat to the craziness. Well, Alex, give us your thoughts. And then Kiava's going to have a chance too, because I want everyone to get a chance to speak without having to interrupt.
When it came to them fighting the walkers after she stormed out, I thought that was very emotional when the chandelier had fallen. And back up. Why was there a disco in there? He hit a button and like all the lights started.
I know, it was a
flashing different
thing.
Colors.
That was weird.
I figured it was just like alarm
really
system
nice
lights
building.
or something.
I thought I was like, oh, it turned into a party. But anyway, so then the chandelier fell and she told him he needed to go. And he said, that's never going to happen. And they jumped over the chandelier, took action, got her out of there, and they went together. And that was very emotional for me. And to kind of add to what you guys were just talking about there, you said that Rick would have questions when he comes back about people. I think really the only question he would have when he goes back to Alexandria is, where's Negan? Why is he not still in jail or dead?
Let me tell you something. I don't even want to hear that name. The letter N. Okay,
I know you don't want to hear it, but
that's definitely gonna be a question.
He left him there in jail, and he's
Yeah.
gonna want to know where he is.
Yeah. And if he finds out he's gone, then it's kind of like what happened?
Oh, just wait till he
been
finds out
banished.
he's on a side mission with Maggie. Rick's gonna lose his shit because that's how he ended up on the fucking rebar in the first place. Was Negan and Maggie and Daryl. So he would be pretty heated.
I wouldn't
think.
call that a side mission. I would call that a, how shall we say, a elaborate trap by Maggie to save her son using Negan as a pawn. That's what I would call it.
That's
not a side
fair.
mission.
No, what I wanted to say about, because y'all know what I like, it's the nuance, it's the small things. I pick up on everything. The energy between Rick and Michonne is not cohesive as it used to be. It's like they're together. Obviously, they would never let anything happen to each other, but you could even tell, like when they was fighting the walkers, they were not fighting together. Like they killed the one at the same time. He got the blood on her face. I'm sorry. And they was like, you can, like, they wasn't like this. But baby, you see at the end, once he took that CRM uniform off, they was fucking and walkers up in the hallway in sync as one. So that the energy drastically changed. But even in the beginning, before it got back to how it used to be at the end, I was like, they not like the way they could just act with the energy.
I even love the combative banter they had, like when she was trapped.
I was
he
gonna say
like,
the
I'll
banter.
never leave you. She was like, okay, I just wanted to hear it. Like,
Yeah,
she's like,
right?
"You
I just
fucking
need to
leave me."
hear it.
Like,
He already had a whole plan. He was like, pick that up, kill them. First of all, she made a walker kebab. When the last time we made one of them? That was crazy.
right, he like handled the walkers while he tried to do this. I'm like, damn, she pinned down, but she always used to that. He always like, Michonne, you can handle hate. Like, I just love that. He's like, you can handle it.
Literally, I always think about that.
He said, I had this, and then sprayed her in the face with the guts. So that was gross too.
Right, and then the next scene when
Sorry,
they was running
you
up
ran
the
off.
stairs, she pushed him and tried to cut in front.
Yeah, he was like,
Whoa.
literally, he was like,
Whoa.
hug the wall. She was like, I know. Like, oh my God, it was so perfect.
Clue
It's
victory.
literally they.
It was
I
cute.
mean, obviously, we know everybody don't get award playwright, award-winning playwright Miss Denai, but just the acting on top of that. They know these characters and they're so good at their job. Oh my God. Single-handedly reset the Walking Dead universe.
So, Kiela, here's your chance. You won't have to interrupt anybody. Go.
Well, no, when they was talking about how in the original show, how when the bridge had blew up, that they put a lot of focus on Darrow and they didn't put enough focus on Michonne. And then I was somebody who always thought that we never had enough Michonne in the original episode. And so I really appreciated this
That's a fact.
episode because it was just like the two of them. It was like a locked room therapy session, the whole fucking episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, I dropped the F-bomb already. I'm sorry. And I just thought it was something that we needed. Like, we needed this episode just for the two of them to like have it out, rekindle, get back to their roots, get back on track. And like, it was like a therapy session. Get through it and let's move on. I just, I really appreciated this episode because this is the type of Michonne chemistry that I wanted to see. The tension, it was a lot of tension, a lot of banter. I agree with all of that. I loved it.
Yeah, I love that. That's why I went so crazy for the vacation when they went to go get them guns for Negan. Boy, they had a swell time. Okay?
Keep their hands off each other.
A few more days.
They could not keep their hands off each other. They was in the elevator trying to escape, kissing on each other. They in the car kissing on each other. I'm like, yo, we gotta go. The building is collapsing.
Literally, Michonne is back. I'm so happy.
Listen, Michonne did not give a fuck about that building collapsing. You understand?
she
She's
did
like,
not.
we ain't going
the
nowhere.
building was symbolism.
It is not time to go.
I think the building was symbolism. Like, we have
Yes,
these two people. They're fighting with each other. They're having it out. They're hashing it out. The whole time this building is crumbling around them, but you notice it never collapsed until they actually left that
Decided to
building.
leave,
Like,
yeah.
once they got back
Come on,
together,
somebody.
once they was back together and on the same page, the building came down. So I feel like the building was symbolism for whatever they was working through.
100%.
They're strong
Amen.
together.
No, Gigi in the chat was saying that people are saying when they were like fighting together, it was kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Somewhat.
Kinda like that.
Yeah,
Somewhat.
Yeah, but better.
Except with all the fighting, with the whole punch in the face and everything else. I mean, I can see.
Well, she does get that shovel for him because I said,
Well,
we
yeah,
jumped
she did.
past that part when they get into the gym. Because that whole part when they're leading there, and
Now she owed him that
Fed
shove.
up.
That was for the fake escape plan for the both of them. That shove. That's because that really.
and then what he says to her right in that moment, because once they get into the gym and she's talking to him about Greenwood, she's reading a letter about Greenwood and she's still trying to break him down in that moment. And then she has that full breakdown moment where she says to him, like, I've been eating myself up about not being with my children. That was another way she was throwing a little sub at him too. Cause she's the whole time, even though Rick is like my son, our son, she keeps saying to him, my children.
Right.
Like, my
Literally.
children.
That's why them kids got some sense because she raised them. Look at Judy. Come on now, that's Michonne, baby. If we gonna keep it a stack.
For her to have that breakdown with him and to tell him about how devastated she is as a mother, to have to leave her children behind to come look for their father and to get there, and then their father is like, oh no, he's not going to come back. Like, all the guilt that's on her about, was this the right thing to leave my children behind to do this in the first place? And then your response is, that's why you shouldn't have come?
Yes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they have the maturity to hash it out and talk properly and no domestic violence. But I'm not gonna lie, I was talking shit.
Me too.
In my reaction video, slap the shit out of him. Like he was pissing me off. Mad. I was talking big shit. Cause this is the thing. She has her own trauma that she processes however she gonna process it. But she can't even break down and cry in front of him right now because she got to get this nigga on the same page so they can just get on the way home first. Like, she trying to get home.
Yeah.
She the one that was pregnant and you didn't know. She the one that had to carry that baby. She the one that had to raise that baby. Like, her shit is completely...
And run the community at the same time.
Thank
and
you.
everybody
Her
was acting
pain
funny
is
to her.
completely different. Like, her pain... Like, at least you know everybody alive. You know where they at. They don't know a goddamn thing. You just disappeared in the thin air, and she got a whole fucking child that you didn't even know existed, and you playing in her face. That's a different type of pain. She would want to just, boy, she wanted to sock him so bad.
And think of it from the kid's perspective. We saw how tormented Judith was. She don't know if her parents are alive at this point. Michonne,
First of all, Judith been trying to remember Rick and Carl so bad. Bless her heart. I feel so bad. That's a whole nother conversation. That makes me cry when she said she started to forget their voices.
Their voice.
I know that's an underrated scene for real.
And that ties into later on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when for him just to say that, I was about
to say that they need that for Carl so bad. Look, we can't even skip over Greenwood. What the hell was them people eating? Because in the lab, it looked like they was kind of growing stuff. What the hell was they doing in that lab with all that stuff?
Yeah, that's what it was like. They were trying to do. They probably were trying to make genetically modified or something, and it failed.
Some GMO crops.
Yeah, and it just didn't work out for them and stuff. But you know, yeah, it was like,
I love that they show one thing. Okay, so this is another thing that I say. Walking Dead, everybody don't always get what they want. You can't satisfy everybody because it is an ensemble cast. Everybody can't get if whoever your favorite character is ain't this main character, ain't this favorite. So the fact that I just got 2 out of my top 4, y'all can't tell me shit. I'm thriving right now. Like, I'm never letting it go.
And that's why I'm like, we don't need all of these extra people to be here. We don't need
nobody.
Conversations about all these other
Denai and Andy single-handedly reset the Walking Dead universe. This is crazy.
That's what like what's your name again? I forgot. Book Yeah. What you were saying about that, there were so many Michonne moments that were missing from the mothership that we needed those. We need that. That's what this is all about. Like, and it's like, how many times we gotta have the conversation with people when they keep saying, like, Andy Denai and Scotty G keep saying it's an epic love story. Yeah. It's an epic love story.
And is
why so like all of these other people are not going to be a part of the story. I'm sorry. Like it's not happening. Like it's not going down. Like
and what I love,
these 2 people, sink in with these 2 people, connect with them because that's who you need to be with.
But clearly we're winning because this is the most views they've gotten in how many years? So clearly this is what everybody been needing. It's Rick and Michonne to come back. So
and then shout out to Denai because we've never had an episode of The Walking Dead like this, but we're dealing with one problem, just actually talking about it. Like the dialogue has never been this intense, this detailed. Like we've never even heard them like yell over each other and like have a full blown married couple argument. Like that was something unique to the show. No character has really done it like that.
Though
like,
she did knock him the fuck out back in Alexandria.
No, we be too busy fighting for our fucking life in Walking Dead. Yeah. That's why.
We never get to slow down. And like the story's always trying to push something else going on. Like they literally took a moment and said, we're not going anywhere. We're breaking this down. Like, and I just absolutely love that because we've never done that.
2 apartments. They had to go from one side to the other side of the building to get this shit together.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of people were like, oh, I can't believe The Walking Dead is ending. But The Walking Dead had gotten so many characters that you couldn't have moments like these.
Yeah.
You exactly.
It always got to get to another part.
So they could do other spinoffs. I would be happy with spinoffs with some of the other characters. Of course, they need to bring this back for season 2, and they probably will, since it's reinvigorated the entire franchise.
Y'all, everybody keeps saying that they're going to bring it back for a season 2. I never thought about that, but honestly, I'm here for it because I know I always been saying that Denai wasn't going to never let me down. And obviously she did. I wouldn't be mad about a season 2. But what I was about to say, this is the energy started to shift in the episode. So like when they first got there to the first apartment, the first thing Rick did was reach for his PRB and his was gone. Michonne ended up giving him hers. So she did let him have his autonomy. She don't want him to feel like he a caged animal. It's like, nigga, you better come home with me. You don't got no say so. So she's like getting him together, but you're not finna fucking play with me. But also, I'm not gonna make you come home if you don't want to come home at the same time. So cause she know the nigga is lying, but she want to make him feel like he got to say so. When they entered the second apartment, he wasn't thinking about no fucking PRB. He the one that approached her. Cause if you notice, her sweater head came, her dress shirt was off her shoulder a little bit. Yeah. And she lifted it up and covered up her shoulder. And then what he did, boy, he came up and he was like, can he even, like, is he even allowed to do this? Like, he's steady trying to snap out of it.
Trying to fight it.
That's when it got good. That's when it got good. Okay. He was like,
and you can see that, like, if anybody in here has been in a relationship, you know that there's times when you're upset with your partner and they have pissed you off, but there's still this magnetism that you have with them. That when they come to you, you're like, I'm mad at you, but there's something about you that I can't deny in this moment.
She said that too. Can't be denied. I said, come on, deny.
And I'm like, denied. Denied, really?
And
Denied.
I said that.
Denied.
I don't know if I've said it in every reaction, but I think I definitely said it in this one. Literally, they are fucking magnetized to each other. Even when they into it, she'll walk past, he be like, or like, if they end up being face to face, like when he tackled her, when he chased her down the stairs, they was looking at each other like that. Like, y'all are stuck. Like, come on, quit playing. Like, they are magnetized to each other.
And even like when they were about to leave out the gym, and he, you know, he broke the pad off, and he goes
looked
to
at
the
her.
door. She's sauntering like, whatever, I guess we doing this together. And he puts the pad up. She takes the other end immediately, like, all right, let's do this. So even though they were still in like a little battle mode with each other, like their fighting was still on point. It was just, but it was in a point of them like trying to show out.
Exactly. But boy, once they got in that second apartment, that's when he started the transition. He finally started to.
Michonne, you were saying how Michonne is perfect, but she
is.
But she can't. She's actually sucks at something. She sucks at hiding her true nature because the kill count. They're actually mentioning in the chat.
That's a choice. That's a choice. Michonne doesn't want to hide who she is because she's not about bullshit. She's ain't none of that fake energy. You gonna know who I am.
And speaking of when they was arguing, remember when they was arguing? You didn't listen to me. You broke the kill record and you showed them you this, you that. And she just looking at him like, do you think I give a fuck?
I was laughing so hard when he talked about how she beat his kill record.
Yeah. Like, no, Michonne, it's two kinds of people, which, first of all, don't ever disrespect my auntie Carol. Y'all know this my bitch. I step for Carol. It's two different kinds of people. I feel like in real life, if I was to compare myself to somebody, I would be like Carol. Yeah, I'm not gonna even be on y'all radar because I want to see how the fuck y'all operate. Michonne is so secure in herself, she don't give a fuck. She just
She's gonna give you them eyes. She's gonna give you them eyes.
Both are effective,
but they could have killed her. They could have decided no.
Yeah,
they could have tried.
She didn't play it that stupid because when Thorne asked her, Michonne knew what to say. Yes. But she's not.
She let them know that
reckless.
I'm not interested in any of the shit you got going on here.
She's
Jack,
not
you
reckless.
look like you want to say something so bad.
No,
like,
I'm loving this. I'm loving the
like, you know, like,
the love.
It's like a little disagreement kind of look.
I'm waiting on him to start.
I was laughing because I was laughing because you made the Carol comment and I felt like that was directed at me and I just thought it was funny.
You know Jack loved the Carol slander.
No, y'all
Carol slander and Melissa slander are two very different things. Melissa slander, never. Not a chance.
We know that.
Yeah.
But so that's. Oh, speaking of people, if it's anybody that Rick needs to reunite with in the show, it need to be him.
Morgan.
Yes.
Honestly,
if it ain't him, I don't want to see it because whenever Daryl come back from France on his show, that's when he could reunite with Rick.
So Winterfire in the chat says it's true to Michonne's character what she's been doing because remember Woodbury. Are you really asking me if I remember Woodbury? Come on.
I was trying not to bring it up. I
mentioned Woodbury in my reaction.
I was trying not to bring Woodbury up, but she went in there like, what the hell he got going on? It don't feel right in here.
She looking around, sneaking around, just like she did at the governor's place.
She didn't even pretend. Yeah, Michonne didn't even pretend. She went in there like.
Michonne didn't even change her clothes in Woodbury. She was not.
She was like, I'm not getting comfortable, and I'm not because I'm not staying here.
I ain't staying. She did that. She's like, we're not staying.
Quickly thank North of 60 for the super chat. You were awesome too.
Thank you, North.
Everybody in the chat is awesome, and I can see these conversations going on, and they have all kinds of stuff to say in this chat. So you guys later on after we're done, go through the chat because they're saying some pretty fucking hilarious shit.
Wait, what they saying?
I'm
in the
looking at it
message?
now.
What's something good they saying?
They said somebody said that sorry for Maggie and Glenn fans, but Rick Shawn is like the best couple in the TWD universe.
OTP.
history.
Oh yeah, no, there's no shot about it.
Okay,
Could
now
we,
Like,
could we
dang.
Power
also talk
couple.
about Rick's flashbacks of Carl and
Oh,
that
God.
Can we not?
wait, we
I don't
didn't
have
get to that
tissues
part
here.
yet.
Yeah, we
Wait.
didn't get to the
my
the scene yet.
My chest. Hold on. Wait. We need. You wait. Let me tell
We
you
need to
something.
process.
Y'all think I don't even
Keep
get
it moving.
headaches. I never get headaches. The back of my head was fucking throbbing from
Throbbing.
me screaming and crying from this episode. Like when I grabbed the back of my head, that shit was so real. My head was pounding.
Yeah,
But like
I had like a
Rick,
tension headache on this side.
Rick started to transition once they got into that second apartment, and he was like trying to let himself have her. But then when he started having that panic attack, it was so realistic of what would happen being separated from this long and experiencing so much trauma and not being able to be together. Oh my God, it was so realistic.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like, they're back together. When he started panicking, I was like, oh my God, that is so realistic. It was so sad. She didn't even have to say nothing.
No.
She just took his hand.
She
I
just
just wanna
asked
give a
him,
shout
what did
out.
they do to you? And then he just let it all out. And
No,
needed-
before.
I
do
want to
hope
give a
that
shout
she
out
kept that book
to the
from
to the
one of the
audio
past.
department for the ones who live because
Period. I've heard the
Because-
audio.
the sound was
Yeah.
sounding.
Okay.
Because I'm like, he didn't suddenly become this loud on this series. That means on the mother show, they were muting him and excuse you, go to hell.
Exactly.
I needed all of this.
Okay.
What are you
sound.
talking
I needed
about?
all
I
the
know.
moans,
I was
the
going to
sucks,
bring that up.
What are we
rap.
talking about?
I
Volume
needed
of what?
all.
The volume. I think it's because it's so focused and it's like the cameras was like this on them. I don't know, but it was good when he started to let himself have her because she was like, and walked off. And then they started getting into it. Did you not hear them moaning while they were kissing? I know I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole
But
time
this
they've
was-
been moaning. The whole every kiss, every episode they've been
They've
moaning.
been moaning.
And in the elevator when they were leaving, I said, "Oh, okay."
Yes. But
I don't know that
I
I would have
love-
trusted the
I love
elevator
just
though.
No, him when he started before they, and he was really starting to piss me off too, because like she been slowly bringing him back, and I'm like, oh, he didn't got some coochie now. Maybe that was the last step we gonna see. He still was talking stupid. I said, God damn,
That's what I said too.
we gonna have to bust him upside the head because he finna start getting on my nerve. But it's so funny. I was on FaceTime with my best friend. And when I was rewatching the video, I was rewatching it and crying as if I hadn't just watched it. And I just kept rewinding it. And she was mocking Denai. What did they do to you? What did they take from you? I'm talking about, I'm just.
But on a quick side note, I really, really hope that she still has that book, Ramona the Pest, with her.
Does she have that what?
The book.
That she picked up.
For Judy.
Oh yeah, she
for
got it. She
Judith.
put it in her back pocket when she was leaving. But also they did get undressed. It was clothes everywhere. So actually I don't know. But I think she got it.
Yeah, but you
She
see
got
what
it in
they
that bag
left
that
at
she
the
had.
end. They had the big backpacks with them, so
That-
they got some things they needed with them.
That reminded me of the episode after we lost Carl when they were fleeing Alexandria and they had the big backpacks and shit and they were trying to disassociate from what was going on, whereas like now I feel like after it's like they were mourning him a second time almost. And but like in a better, more healthy way, if that makes
Definitely
sense.
healthier.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like more like at that moment it seemed like they were almost breaking apart a bit, whereas now obviously they spent most of the episode apart trying to come together, and then after that it felt like they finally were coming back together, at least.
Because the
Hopefully
thing
it
is
stays
with
that
Rick,
way.
yeah, because the thing is with Rick, you know, with all that panic attack, and him keep on saying about when Michonne, like, I want you to leave, even though he was a butthole when he said that. Okay, it's like you know, like I said on my Twitter, that first episode from first season, Lori, Shane, and Carl, he lost all three. Okay, when they realized he was alive, it was drama. because what Lori and Shane had done. And now it's like, I lost all them three, and I don't want to lose now my new family, my son and my wife, so I'm keeping you safe. But with Michonne is like, hey, you got a second chance. Take it. You know, you got me, you got Art. Yeah, Judith, we know about Judith. We got RJ. So don't ruin this. Okay.
She had to keep breaking it down to him. She broke down the situation probably 30 different ways over these episodes. She kept breaking it down to him, breaking it down to
She
him.
was trying to understand it herself because she would never make these decisions. So she was like,
she
okay.
said, what did she say 10 times? You're lying to me.
And
you're still and then when they was outside arguing before they made it to the second apartment, you keep lying to me.
Yeah. And the thing is with Michonne is that she realized, because she lost too, like again, her boyfriend and her child too, a son. But she realized that, hey, I got another chance, a second chance, Rick, and I got a kid and whatnot. And it's kind of like, why are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Like, come on, like let's go. And then just for him, now we get into it. The real reason, Carl, he was my focus.
Last little piece of sanity.
Yeah, I dreamt about him, but I lost him. Then I dreamt about you, Michonne. But I lost you. It's kind of like, I don't want to lose Pete. I don't want to lose the one I love because you my heart. Because when he said that to her, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
he said,
my life.
You love my life.
He said he literally will die without her. When I tell you, I'm a fucking mess. Oh my God, it's so good. In the very beginning, when Carl told Rick, Michonne with us, and then the Michonne to get him his baby back.
Yeah. That's why I said the panic attack during it. And again, it was a panic attack, people, because there's been debate about what it was.
It was a fucking panic attack.
It was a panic attack because and again, this is what ties back into them being in the modern apartment. Rick is like, is this real?
Exactly.
Is this real? Am I dreaming again? Because all of his dreams with her were always, they were always in a place that wasn't where the ZA was happening. So he's in the throes of it, and he's opening up. He's falling back into what his life could be with her. And then he has that moment where he's like, this can't be real. She can't be here because we already know the trauma from his past relationship. She's not here. This is not real. What are we in? What is this modern environment that we're in? So this all doesn't make sense to me. So that's why he starts to have that panic attack, because he's like, this isn't real. And it's just amazing in that moment because Michonne sees that on his face when he's freaking out because he's trying to not make eye contact with her. And she fights to make the eye contact to connect with him, and censors
she took
him
his
like
hand, and she
anybody. She put his hand right to someone's heartbeat, and like, I'm real. This is real. This is actually happening.
It's kind of the opposite of what happened when he lost Lori. He saw her when she wasn't there, whereas Michonne was here, but he couldn't really see her, or he didn't want to see her. He didn't want to have that hope that this is real. Yeah. Because, to have that hope crushed again would have been the end for him, in my thoughts.
He literally damn near didn't even want to kiss her when they made it into the new apartment. He was like lifting up his hand. He was fucking stuck. It just shows that the trauma is not going to instantly go away, but she knew all we got to do is just get on the same page, and we just gonna work the shit out. We just got to click. We got to get back. But yeah, I was crying.
Winterfire was like, Lori who? Jesse who?
Thank you.
Michonne only and forever.
Agreed. Exactly. Comment. Yeah, Lori could literally never. And then, first of all, oh my God, I was talking so much shit in my reaction video. I was talking big shit. Then he started getting into it, flipped her ass over. Then his eyes got to roll in the back of his head. I said, okay, we get into it.
It was like, hold on a second. What's like, he's taking over.
Hold on, I'm going to go get the maid outfit in the...
Man, crazy. I was talking big shit. Where's his ass out? I was so happy. Could you imagine not seeing the love of your life for 8 years? That's crazy. 8 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And then they in the bed like this, kikiing.
Exactly. Back with the spoon. Back with the spoon and talking about RJ, and I loved it.
Period.
I
Talking about he look like me.
I love the deny put that part in the script, but like, oh, so he's good looking like me. Yeah.
Period. You know, I always like. I know that they say scripts are typically bare bones, and the actors they really supposed to shine and do their job and act. I know Andy always be adding his own little 1-2 on there because y'all know I always like to bring up when he grabbed her booty at the fair. I know that wasn't in the script. I don't care what nobody say. When they was sitting there in the bed and he kissed her shoulder, I was like, "Ooh, I wonder if that was in the script."
You know that was not in the script. That's another thing that I'm like, I need when we buy the DVD for this.
Thank you.
I need there to be like a package deal that like the script for this episode.
I need them signed. I need scenes. I need
whatever
everything.
the price. Like if somebody from AMC is watching right now, whatever the price, whatever we will pay it. If you give us some behind the scenes, and if you give us some deleted scenes, we'll say yes. And you throw that in there, because if you got to go to France to talk to him, to get the scenes and put it on this DVD, you got to do what you got to do because we're going to pay the price.
Yeah.
And it's going to sell out. However many
I've been waiting for bloopers for years. After seeing that clip of Andy punching the hole in the wall at Comic-Con, I've been waiting for bloopers and all the F takes they claim they filmed in season 7 and 8. I'm like, where are those?
Right.
I've been coming across, like, I've been doing some deleted scene binging lately, like trying to find some old ones that like weren't on the, you know, the Blu-ray or like whatever. And I've like found a lot of really interesting ones, and a lot of them have to deal with either Carl or Rick in like a psychotic like the stuff at the prison. Like there was an extended bit of the scene where he's freaking out about seeing Lori when they like shoot Tyrese's group, and Carl and Beth have like a 3-minute scene where they talk about heaven and Lori and faith and all this shit. And I'm like, why the fuck was that shit cut? There's so many scenes of Rick and Carl that are cut too. Like the season 7 finale, I thought that scene tied in amazing back here because it was talking about like, oh, Rick, like, Dad, could you have actually cut my arm off because you might have to do that again? And they were like trying to have, and Michonne's like, no, we're not doing that. But like then he had to cut his own hand off, and I'm like, oh my God, it was just. There's so many great scenes that I wish they like fully included in some of the Blu-rays and DVDs and shit. Oh my God!
I just want to do
Lori everything.
But that's the thing about Michonne though. She never like stays in those. She never festers in those terrible moments. She is about moving on. She is not going to stay stuck in the past and what happened. She's like never again.
I don't know if that's 100% always the best move, though. Obviously, that's definitely the end goal, and I think the best overall mindset on those type of situations. But I do think that there is a benefit at times to kind of staying in the moment and really digging deep, because like with this episode, we kind of saw both of those happen because we saw her kind of take a stance, and I was a bit annoyed with the bed thing. I'm like, you two could literally fucking die. Like you can beat his ass mentally to have this conversation in like 10 minutes when you're right outside the door or something.
No,
but
he had to have that pressure.
I know
he
it was a mental thing.
Yeah.
But so she was like anchored down in that point that she couldn't leave things where they were. But then once we got there, she allowed it to fester. So I think she knows when to let those things kind of take hold and just unravel to kind of get everything out there. But I think she also recognizes when you can't do that, which is like here, because I even though initially in my head I'm like, okay, just get outside and talk about it, he would have continued finding excuses and reasons to keep avoiding it and not talking about it. And they needed to talk about it. And so I'm glad that she was able to kind of find a balance between knowing that you need to force him to have this conversation. Yeah, exactly. That you need to force him to have this conversation. And then once he is willing to and opens up, just let him let it all out. Because clearly he needed to.
Exactly, because
he needed that pressure cooker.
She's not bawling her eyes out about everything she's been through over 8 years. She's just trying to get her man on board so they can go home. Like, because she got a whole lot more she could complain about. She the one got to have the baby. Okay, that's Whole nother conversation. You over here being a man, she over here being a mama, a daddy, a goddamn
running the community, the
thank
security,
you, a goddamn lawyer, a goddamn
everybody
everything.
back home acting well, a lot of them was acting funny towards her during that time. Like she had a lot going on already.
But that's not
She
that's
had
not
a
what
lot
the situation
going
called
on.
for.
I mean, we all kind of know that they're not making it home in this season, right? Like we're all kind of in agreement there that one, we're getting a season 2, and 2, they're not going to make it home this season. We're not going to have some magical, walk up to the gates at Alexander. Like that would be bullshit. There's no fucking shot.
Not in 2 episodes. No.
Denai's a better writer than that. I got faith in her. She's not going to make shit simple.
I think they'll be
She's
on the
gonna make
road
this-
to home. At least
I think
hopefully.
that's definitely
Hopefully.
possible. But the sets are also like gone. So
or
Yeah.
they have to
That's
go
earlier.
back and deal with the whole summit thing. I do want to quickly address some slander that I'm getting in the chat.
Don't get me into my started. Wait, who is it?
Because hold on,
No,
let me get my notes.
they're going back to
slandering the
deleted scenes
governor.
where the Vatos was killed, and they're saying that I did it. I deny that categorically.
You definitely didn't do that. That was way too far away.
Yeah.
No, it was
That was a
strongly
great
alluded
scene,
that
though.
the
I
governor
love
did
that.
it, though.
I
It
don't
was
think.
I was framed.
It was like supposed to be the tease that the governor is coming. That was what it was supposed to be. I can't remember where I read that.
That long ago?
Well, I am not
that
paying
far away?
$454 million in damages for.
That's funny.
Ain't got the bond.
Back to this scene. I'm still not over it. I
The
needed
dry
that
humping?
reunion.
Or the
Jack, I'm not gonna play with you, sir.
no, I would
No.
like. Did you mean the bed one or the one when they first got in the
The-
apartment?
the everything, because it's the nuance.
Well,
and
you want to talk about the ex, him finally bringing up her scar.
so he
Yeah, I love that.
That was a breakthrough moment.
it was so
It was
The-
the beginning.
he really started to transition once they got into that second apartment. And then when they made love, he started to transition some more. And then we got to see Murder Rick come back. We got to see Murder Rick. He finally got to ask about that scar after he keyed in the bed. And he think his shit sweet. Like he wasn't just talking about the CRM again. But anyway, he like, this scar on your back. And she was like, yeah. And then she told him the story. And he just wanted to make sure that bitch was dead. And he was like, good. I said, oh, look at Murder Rick.
It's a good thing that they just scurried, because I feel like that trying to write a way where they fully explain that I don't think it really would have fit the tone of the scene as much as I feel
perfectly.
like
I
that
think
would
it's
be
good that
interesting
Michonne
to
didn't admit
hear.
to killing all the kids.
Yeah, no,
She said she didn't want to
wasn't.
talk about it.
Yeah.
No, she
Because
definitely didn't
again,
want to
Michonne don't like
admit
to go
the
back to
Order
those places.
66
Yeah.
shit now, and that wouldn't have benefited the scene really, or the progress
Right.
she was trying to make to Rick. Like, if anything, that would have made him be like, "What the fuck?" And like,
Rick-
damn, that's tough. Fuck.
Rick has been fighting himself mentally, and
Yeah,
Michonne's
he doesn't
literally
need to
been
be
fighting the
worried about
fucking
someone
world.
else fighting her.
Yeah.
And then
She
what
caused
I'm
problems.
kinda
she killed her,
worried
and that's
about-
it.
what I'm kind of worried about with that, because I know she don't need to mention about the kids. Like if they do like a season 2 and she gets nightmares, and like if she don't want to, like she want to leave the past in the past, and they gonna have like a second kind of mini argument. It's like maybe season 2, and Rick gonna be like, now you want me to, kind of want me to get to the root of my problem. Is like you be having nightmares. Like what's going on? I don't want to talk about it. It's in the past. I kill kids. Like
Hey, she
That
did
was-
that 6 years
Honestly, you
ago.
might be honest.
No,
on
that
there.
was
I can see
7.
them doing
7
that.
years ago.
Wait, she said RJ, he's almost 8. That was
Yeah.
her exact words when she talked
Yeah.
about her
Yeah.
son. She was 7 months pregnant when that happened. So that was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Them kids,
Yeah.
Right.
She all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Them
I
kids-
think it's good that they finally gave a verbal confirmation, even though they gave a very clear visual one, that she was with Nat for like, if not a little
year?
more than a year.
Yeah.
I knew it was a
Which-
year.
Yeah.
If you know the timeline, like lining that up
Mhm.
with the time she was with Carl, like putting that into perspective is fucking nuts. Like just thinking about how she spent almost the same amount of time with both of them. And that's like initially I saw people were like, I don't know if it was a lot of people, but I definitely saw at least like 1 or 2 comments over the broad social media. And obviously there's going to be just negative, stupid comments about like, why did you kill that? Like the bullshit like that. But people being like, why does she feel so the like one or two negative comments about Nat, even though all of us fucking loved him pretty much, that people are like, why is it affecting her, so much, or why does like what he said like mean so much? And it's like, because she was with him for a fucking year. Like,
Yeah.
He was the only person she talked to.
Yeah.
for a year.
Let me tell
Secure
y'all something.
attachment
why like
to
her
him.
and Andrea were so
My
attached? 'Cause
friend
they were
that
together
your
almost a
people
year.
killed.
How many times do I got to tell y'all? Just the way that people do not read for comprehension. People just be watching fucking TV and not actually paying attention.
Or they watch clips or read like article headlines, and they're just like,
Just like people don't read.
I know what's going on. It's like, shut the fuck up. No, you don't.
Yeah,
just like people.
They be
What?
pissing me off. I'd be like, let me keep scrolling because I'm gonna get started today.
Yeah, like what she said about like, with Rick with the kids. You know how many people on Twitter was bashing Michonne? Oh,
Nope,
she left
I don't
her
know.
kids.
I
She's a
cussed each and
bad
every one
mother
of
and
them out.
whatnot. And like,
Exactly.
That's
It's like-
crazy.
I
Yes.
literally went through and cussed out everybody.
it's
I
like,
spent the whole day one
like
time
you
doing
don't think that this
I'm not gonna
woman
play her.
like think about her kids and what have you?
Excuse me, not y'all trying to make it seem like did Rick? I'm confused. So I understand that everybody's trauma is different, but if we gonna compare it apples to apples, Rick's is not the fucking same. I don't recall Rick having to be pregnant and then seeing Michonne blow up on a bridge and disappear into thin air and look for Michonne every day, 7 months pregnant, go through that whole shit with the kids being fucking branded, then having to raise these kids by yourself, but then you still got to be a leader of a community. Then you still got to be your own person. All Rick got to do is fight his damn self with the CRM because he was just trying to go home. Like Michonne ain't went through shit. Do y'all forget?
I don't think either of them could have survived each other's trauma. I think Michonne was
definitely could have survived
Michonne was
Rick's.
built for the trauma that she survived. I don't think Rick could have survived that, but I also think Michonne can sometimes be her own worst enemy. I feel like she's really good at talking through things with people a lot of times, but if it's just her with herself, like she was saying to Rick here, she's beating herself up over it. And if she was forced to be alone, beating herself up over the unknown for, 8 years, I don't know if like she's good at taking like physical problems on head on. Like there's no denying that, and like taking leadership and like doing all of that and helping and making things. But if she was forced to be confined, I think she would have acted out enough to
I don't think so. Because
Michonne is a problem solver.
Michonne, I don't think so because Michonne literally confined herself. When everything happened and her child that she had and she birthed her baby, she went out on a run. This nigga and his friend let the baby get bit. She confined herself. It was her and them. What did she say? It was me and them all day, every day. That is confinement. And when she was ready to come out of it,
and when she was ready to come out,
that is confinement. When she wanted to come out, she saved Andrea. She ain't have to say that white lady that was running around through the woods screaming. She didn't have to.
Exactly. Michonne is a problem solver. I think that she would, if she was with the CRM, she would have escaped.
Thank you. She would have been out with all her body parts.
She would have figured out already that she needed to assimilate into the CRM. She would have figured out what was going on inside. She would have known everything about the rebellion. She would have known all the pieces. She would have connected with all the people she needed to get all her pieces together to get her ass up out of there.
She either would have escaped or been top dog and figure out how to do some world changing shit. She would have did one or the other.
I feel like that would track more than escaping, because I feel like they're really trying to hammer in that escaping is not an option and is not easy. But I don't think there would have been much of a problem with her rising ranks, because I feel like people would have recognized, like she would have been the type of person that Okafor would have noticed. Like
Okafor would have loved her.
Oh,
Okafor would have been like, "You ain't going nowhere, lady."
Yeah, he would have tried to swoop her up to be on the team quicker than Thorne. Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it would have depended on where in Michonne's kind of journey she was at the time. That like if she would have been taken or like sent there, would have kind of depended on like what mental state, or like, because there's definitely been points in time where I feel like she may have been more vulnerable to not being able to handle that stuff as well, and other times where she would have just fucking clockwork and just kicked ass with it. So I don't know, it would have definitely been interesting, like if obviously we won't get like a what if style series, but that it would have been interesting to see how certain characters would have handled leadership positions differently. Like if we would have had, Jesus starting to be like leader of Hilltop initially, and like Gregory just be like some grumpy old man that like, or
Ugh.
yeah, like I don't know. There's a lot of cool what if things I've been thinking about with this series. I spent more time after this episode discussing it and like the universe and the timeline and everything more after this one than I did any other episode in the main show. I think barring the finale of the series, but I had so many different ways I was trying to tie things in, but the fact that we don't know for sure if there's going to be a season 2 or not, even though I think most of us can agree that because of the numbers there's probably going to be a season 2, but because it's not confirmed,
They're already casting for it.
well, okay, you can let us just think that it may or may not happen because they haven't officially been like, hey, we got number 2. Like they may be saying they're casting, but
I think they would have told us like this is it. That's why
I feel like you've had all of this reflection because this episode was not about fights and big action scenes and all this other shit.
Oh yeah, no,
this was that's what I'm saying.
deep.
That's why we talking like this was story and character development at its finest, folks.
Yeah.
We've never had one of these before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was
Never.
glorious.
Yeah. I mean, like talk
Places
about
of-
trauma. If you want to
Yeah.
talk about trauma, whoever got more than who, but trauma is like somebody says, trauma is trauma.
Exactly.
Both of them
Yeah.
had gone through levels of who we never seen what the 8 years that Rick had gone with the CRM, how they broken down, because we like seeing Michonne part of her being pregnant, seeing like what she had to go through. I mean, the branding and all that kind of stuff. I mean, my goodness. And it's like they not hearing each other at some point. It's like, I left, I want you to leave because of CRM. I want you here because you know that I'm struggling. I can't live without you. I left my kids and everything. You don't know what I gone through looking for you, branding, but from Jocelyn and all that kind of stuff. Like, and then when she said that I am sorry
For what they did.
when
she was rubbing his little stuff.
he needed that so
He said,
bad.
I'm sorry
Or he
what you
could
had gone
never.
through. And it's kind of like with Rick, I'm going in his mind of what he thinks. It's kind of like, is she like hearing me? Like, even though he was a butthole, it's kind of like, is she here? It's like, if I do this, you will go. If I leave you, we would die. It's kind of like, I cut my arm for you. It's kind of like, in his mind, it's like, can't you see that I did
Yeah,
that? But
it
then
was
when
like
she
they
said,
were both
I am
talking
sorry.
but not listening.
And what she
Yeah.
said, she said, even through the bullshit, I know you want to come home.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like, he just
Like
and
you
what
said,
happened?
David, that you learn that you're not supposed to quantify pain because everyone's tolerance levels are going to be different that they can deal with, and so they're in that space where, I feel like a lot of people are always going to zone in on what Rick's pain is, so that's why I always want to shed a light on what Michonne is going through.
That's exactly why I said that. I'm like, don't forget what she done went through.
Yeah.
Because she's going through all of this, but at the same time, she's still trying to drag her husband back through.
Mhm.
So it takes you right back to the point I was making about the scar and Rick seeing it when the episode first starts, and now them having a conversation, because when he first saw that scar, you could see even though he was already ogling her because he looked like, oh, I ain't seen this body in a while, but the scar.
That's what's sitting.
Yeah, the scar is what takes him out of it in that moment, because in his head, he was able, and we know from his confession later that his head, he was saying to himself, she's fine. She's been fine without me all of this time. So for him to see that scar and for her to now confirm how she got the scar that was from a friend that she trusted, he knows, even though it didn't happen on screen, we all know she had to have told him about Mike and what she experienced. And so for him now to realize she had to go through another betrayal, and I'm doing the same thing to her also.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been good, because Carl
had
was the
to
first
sit in
person
it
she
for
told
that
about
moment.
her son.
I was going to say, Michonne,
Yeah.
I don't know if she actually ever did tell Rick, because she made
I
a
know
point
she
to tell
had to.
Carl that
Yeah, she
he was
did.
the only person that he told.
She
or
told Rick. She told Rick. But she
She
told
told
Carl in the
Rick.
beginning, because with Michonne and Carl confirmed that they were each other's best friends.
Yeah.
She told Carl early too, but I don't know at what point she told Rick. But
I don't know if
they
she
do-
told him everything about it. She might have told him that she had a son, but I don't know if she would have went fully into
No,
she
he know
told him
everything. Because
Michonne
they've even
is not holding back on Rick.
Even with the stuff that they showed us, Rick has literally never brought up Lori and Shane. And when Negan took all their mattresses and they was on their motherfucking floor, Rick told her about Lori and Shane. Like, I know he know everything about what happened with her baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of shit that I be wanting to see. That's why I am living for this. And he thought he was just about to get up out the bed and get back to the bullshit. She was just sitting there with her hands in her lap, just looking at him. Where you think you going, sir?
She told him to
Like, where are you going?
And she was like, "We're gonna die here."
Thank you.
Again, it put him right back into that moment of like, if I don't sit down and have this conversation with
his
her
eyes
right now, like this building's gonna fall down, and she doesn't care right now.
Yeah.
She's like, because either way, we're not going. If we're not going home because we're in this building that falls down, or we have the conversation and then we come through and we decide we're splitting ways. Like it doesn't matter to me at this point.
And he needed that sense of urgency because he was just like when he fell out the helicopter when Nat blew it up. What was the first thing he did? Hit that motherfucking PRB when they hit the ground. And so when he got in the apartment with Michonne, he looked for, that was the first thing he did in the first apartment was look for his PRB. She gave him hers. She gave him the choice and he never clicked it. Then saw the helicopter. So he really ain't got no sense of urgency now. After they done blew up the helicopter, he know nobody is readily looking for them. So he needed that sense of urgency because now he trying to get back to the bullshit because he know ain't nobody hunting him down right now. And he's still, I'm gonna just keep saying that he's still in a state of shock. Like she ain't even been here. He ain't seen this lady in 8 years. He lost his dreams about her and Carl. And for her to pop up and it ain't even been 2 weeks, excuse me? It ain't even been. He
got more mad at Jadis. Like when he told her, like
he
Jadis
cussed that bitch out basically. Yeah, he told her.
Like she took me. I said I didn't go willingly. Like she took me, and then Michonne like Jadis.
She said I knew we should have killed her at first.
It's like
she said we should have killed her in the beginning. She did say
I
that.
don't think he's necessarily in a state of shock, but he's in a state of denial.
That man.
I was gonna say, I
in
felt
shock.
it was more fear than anything. I don't know if because I know there were a lot of people that were saying that they thought
any hope.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people that were saying that they felt that he was like fully bought into
Run,
the CRM and
Pierre!
their mission. But I'm like, I don't know about that.
I love your shirt, Busy.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I need to look good for the stream.
No, Rick is
You always
definitely in
look
shock. He
Appreciate
literally
it, bro.
started to panic as if he was dreaming again. Rick is definitely in shock.
Yeah, he's in shock. And then he says to her that when she showed up, how scared he was. He's in shock by the whole thing because he had, like, when he confesses to her, he had gotten to a place where he was able to...
He was dead.
To die on the inside. And in his head, he was able to make peace that she's okay. Judith is okay. Everyone back home is okay.
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly. And I can move on and I can stay here and it'll be okay. And so for her to show up, it threw all of that off kilter for him.
It ain't even been...
Just like...
I thought that
Just
they
like
were
his
showing us
grandfather.
this timeline. Okay, once Michonne got to the CRM, I felt like the timeline was day by day. I don't think it was any time jumps. Because even with Okafor, everything happened back to back to back. Soon as Okafor died, she came to Rick's apartment crying. He said, it's a lady. Make sure she get in. Michonne literally ain't even been here for a week. This man just fell out of a fucking helicopter and she was about to cut his head off. This man is shocked.
Well, I don't know if it was only a week because it took like Rick a month after getting to the CRM before he was out and Jadis, started flirting.
I'm talking about when Michonne got there.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a week or if it was several weeks.
I know it was less than a month
because they don't seem to process very quickly there.
They showed everything that
definitely
happened.
less than a month, but I think it might have been a little more than a week. I don't think it was certainly not a month.
I say it was less than 2 weeks. I think it was less than 2 weeks because they literally showed us day by day Rick going to sleep dreaming about Michonne waking up. Like they literally showed him going to bed and everything that was happening. But hey, this man is in shock. He haven't even been with her 2 whole weeks, and he ain't seen her in 8 years. And Jade, he didn't even get to enjoy the first 24 hours of seeing her. Because who's sitting in his fucking apartment when he come home? Jade. I'm going to kill everybody if y'all leave. Of course, it's a lot going on in Rick head. So Jada's really pissed me off, too. I was like, I bet you that's that bitch Jada's. And then when they show her face, I said, he don't even get to enjoy the first 24 hours of being here. They literally just flew back in the helicopter and she at his apartment waiting on him to come home. So he
I
haven't.
mean, I think that we can all say that it's a hard decision to make. If we were the ones that had to make it, knowing that we want to go home and be with our loved ones, do we risk it all or do we try to save them?
Yeah,
it's a very hard decision.
I mean, Rick had good motivations.
Rick had more than enough good motivation to not want to just bolt and run home, because denying the fact that they are the most powerful force that we've come up against and that they wouldn't hesitate to wipe everyone out if they felt that there was a risk to the security, I think is just people being blinded. And thankfully, I feel like after 4 episodes now, people are finally like, okay, I kind of get it now, especially after seeing how much Rick is struggling. And as much as we know about Jadis, she's fucking persistent. So there's no shot that she would have just been like, oh, they probably just didn't make it in that helicopter. That would have been way too fishy to her. There's
and this is another thing.
Invincible.
But they do know it was a storm. Everybody knew it was a terrible storm. But
what
was I about to say?
Jadis?
The
higher ups.
No, it's gonna come back to me. It's gonna come back to me. It's gonna come back.
I feel like the higher ups may be more inclined to be like, maybe they're just gone. But I think Jadis would be like, I don't know about that.
No, this is what I want to say. Jadis,
we were talking about that earlier.
Jadis is literally just a piece of shit. I'm gonna keep saying it. Shout out to Pollyanna. She played the hell out of Jadis.
I can't wait to see her at the camp in May.
She plays
that talk.
She plays hell out of Jadis. If I don't hate the villain, they're not a good enough villain. Like when I'm mad, you're doing your job. Like Jadis literally worked with the CRM and gave them people. She's a fucking kidnapper. Let's call a spade a spade. She didn't give a fuck. She been doing this. She not new to this. She true to this. She's a fucking serial kidnapper. And Rick was her last victim.
Where's Heath?
And literally, Rick was her last victim.
Man.
So Rick was her last victim, and she's such a piece of shit. She knows for a fact that, but she's not going to take the chance because obviously it'll come back on her. She know for a fact that Alexandria don't got shit on the fucking CRM. Them people is trying to fucking live.
Yeah.
You know, you've been through all our war with us. You know what kind of people we are. She is such a piece of shit that she is ready to go blow up Alexandria because the man that she kidnapped won't stay put. Bitch.
I think it's the fear because she saw Rick, who was down bad. I mean, the Saviors had the numbers.
Rick hadn't seen her Rick saw her at one time in the city when sometime early on when he was like, you brought me to a place I can't leave. Yeah. And then she gonna have the nerve to be sitting in his apartment. That's why he looked at her like, now bitch, I ain't seen you. Now the day Michonne get hit, now you want to pop up.
Yeah.
Well, they had to have talked because they had some sort of agreement that she mentioned.
I'm tired of telling y'all that.
She said there was a couple. She said they had a couple
conversations. She has Rick in a tight space because if he goes and he says to anyone, hey, I knew this woman before she kidnapped me and brought me here, that puts a light on his family back home. If he doesn't, so he has his hands are tied. He can't say anything.
She also lied.
In her delusion.
Yeah. She keeps saying
she takes his silence as him being on the plan. He's already told you when he met you in the marketplace. He's not. What's your plan? Like he's not. What's your plan?
No, I was gonna say it's not a long-standing deal because she keeps saying when Michonne showed up, she said this is not a part of our long-standing deal, and that's why he is like, why, why, why?
Because why now?
Safety and security. Yeah, safety, exactly, and he won't give her no dick, so she really got an attitude.
Thank you.
So she said
he's
safety.
Gonna use the seduction to get to her and kill her, though.
She said safety.
Imagine, like
Rick
they
would
start
never
like mounting on a bed, and he just slits her throat like fucking Negan Alpha style.
That's like one of my
like he's like,
thoughts now.
All right, Jadis, I'll finally give in. Michonne,
But I don't think
It's
that he's
gonna
going
be
to
a
use
game.
like seduction to do it. But
No,
It's
he
never been
couldn't
Rick's
fix that
thing.
shit.
before we wanted Michonne to be the one who kills Jadis, but I think Rick is going to do it because him threatening her and saying that I'm going to kill you, just not right now. And then when she says to him on the docks, when you come to kill me, do it face to face. So I think he is going to be the one who finally gets her.
I gotta fix Summit. I know some of us know the comics, some don't.
I want them to blow it up.
The whole Dwight thing.
I do too.
I don't think all the
Get a
higher ups
helicopter.
are trash people. I think some of
Yeah,
them
I
are
don't
like
think-
world
they're not
beyond
all.
scientists, like smart people trying to actually do good. So that's why I don't want to
Yeah.
like burn the whole thing down. But at the summit,
Yeah.
imagine, because the one thing Jadis was talking about that she's worried about is the fact that she lied to the CRM when she brought him. She lied about what
Exactly.
he was so that he would live. So that's, I think, her main concern. If they find out she lied, she's fucked, and they're going to probably do something about it. And so she wants contingencies to protect her life. It's a very, it's
Selfish.
a rough web. But if somehow that info makes its way out at the summit and she starts freaking out and trying to hurt people, and Rick or Michonne take her out and save them, maybe that buys them some good grace with some of the higher ups there, and they bump
No.
them up.
No.
And then shit starts being better. I don't know, or maybe they allow them some freedoms. I don't know. I feel like if they saved
I think that-
Beal or some of the higher ups' lives, that would probably earn them some brownie points.
I don't want that.
I could
I
see
don't want
Jadis
that.
freaking out though,
I don't want that.
and them taking her out. You don't want them taking her out in
No,
public.
I don't want the higher ups to see Rick and Michonne working together, because I don't even want them to know that they know each other.
I
I don't
necessarily
want
mean
them
together,
to know
just like
nothing.
If one of them had to kill her,
Because they love
because she was
attention.
acting
They
a
love to
fool.
break shit apart. Oh no, I don't even want them to know. I don't want them to even see Rick
You
and
don't want them
Michonne.
to see Jadis crumble as
No,
the
I don't want the higher ups of the CRM to see Rick and Michonne working together.
Yeah.
That's
What
what
if
I
it's
don't
just
want.
one
We
of
don't
them
want
that
them to
takes
know
her
they
out,
even
though?
exist.
Yeah, I don't want the
Well-
CRM people to
Well, they
know
already
that
know
Rick and
Rick,
Michonne
but-
work together.
Yeah,
I feel like they just gonna have to catch Jadis outside because she's already probably gonna be on their way to him.
I think
because
that'd be
they're
lame,
from
though.
Alexandria now.
I feel like it's got
Somebody got to come find them.
I feel like it'll
So
be
we
a
just gonna
public
catch her
thing.
outside when she pull up.
I feel like it could be like a Sebastian type situation where they get her, like they catch her admitting to the shit she's done, and then like reveal it to people, and then she either loses her like shit, like gets all pissed at either Rick or Michonne for exposing her, and then tries to hurt them or one of the higher ups or some shit, and then Rick or Michonne, whoever she's gunning for, takes her out to like protect people. And I'm not saying that they're working together to do it, but I feel like her kind of finally having her mask fall and
No, that would be nice. It would be nice for her to be embarrassed and then die, because that's great.
I
But
feel like
I just don't.
That doesn't
However
solve the
they
issue
do
of
it.
Beal.
Yeah.
It doesn't
that's
solve
it.
the
I
issue
don't-
of Beal.
I feel like we haven't got nearly. That's another reason I think we're having a season 2. They wouldn't cast someone.
We
like
don't know
him.
nothing about this damn man.
Yeah, so I don't think that he's like as sinister as people are thinking. I feel like there's either more to him or more to Jadis. And in what we've seen,
Definitely
I'm
more to
leaning more
Jadis.
towards. Well, right now I think there is, but I'm hoping that if they take
Alright.
Jadis out this season, that they have a lot more depth for Beal, because they built him up the whole 2 seasons of World Beyond and the majority of this, and then to have him in like as much like having Dawn at the hospital had more screen time than this guy is ridiculous.
I think
I
Bill
mean,
is
he's the one that's organized the summit, right? I think it's a suicide mission. I think he's gathered up people that he thinks are rebelling against him and is going to basically kill them all.
I think Bill
That'd be
is a
wild.
terrible human being. The only reason I'm gonna say that Bill is a terrible human being because you're in charge of people who go out and slaughter people just because. So you
He's the
have
one
to
who
be a
puts the
terrorist.
orders. Because
Literally,
remember,
like
in
you
World
ha-
Beyond,
there's no way you the top dog that's happening and you're not a terrible person. Like you're literally telling these people what to do. You
Do
have
we
to be a
think
terrible person.
Elizabeth Kublik is gone at this point? Do we think that she was taken out?
Who is
She's in
Elizabeth
jail.
Kublik?
that's from World Beyond. So all
They put her in jail.
The missions and stuff when they would go out and kill all the other
the
people.
girl mama in World
Yeah.
Beyond. Oh, okay. I did not know that
Yeah.
lady's name.
I was
So
saying,
whenever
Jadis
she
said
would get
no
the
one
orders,
escaped
she would always
before.
say the orders came from General Bill. Every time that
Yeah.
there's a terrible act is being done, they all say General Bill's orders. So
Yeah.
he's
But do
fully
we think
behind
he's
this.
actually the highest higher up? I feel like there's
From
got to
the
be.
CRM, but remember he doesn't run the CR.
He's only the military. He's not.
Yeah, he's only
the
over
city
the
or
CR.
the government.
He's
But
not
the
over
city,
CRP.
the city ain't shit because they ain't got the guns and the helicopters in the.
No, but I mean,
No, but
there's
they said
there's
CRP is like
exponentially more people
independent,
there.
and they don't. There's a reason that the CRP doesn't allow the CRM to run inside the community.
Yeah, the military aren't even allowed in there. And I think
Yeah.
what did Thorne say? Did she say there was like 17,000 soldiers somewhere around there?
Yeah,
When she was talking
17,000.
about, yeah, she was, but so there's
But
that
that's
many
overall.
soldiers.
No, but what I'm
100K
saying is,
people.
Yeah, so
the
there's
people in the city is not flying out on helicopters to
No,
go slaughter
no.
people just because they're alive. That's what I'm saying. So they can't be as bad as Bill and them.
But so
Okay.
I'm wondering who the people that are like running the city are.
That would be
maybe?
nice to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if we're gonna have some, because I feel like it'd be nice in extending the Walking Dead universe if we had a
Jesus,
sort
Mayor.
of Commonwealth situation take place where we weed out the the rotten parts of the system, get rid of them, and have our people who know how to run good communities kind of get their way in there and actually start doing good. Because with the numbers and the technology that this place has, if there's good people like our people
Yeah.
at the head of it, they could do some insanely good fucking shit. And
Like
the-
Thorne
yeah.
said, they have a
Because it kind of
500-year
ties into like the
plan.
comic. It
Yeah.
kind of ties into the comic because Michonne becomes a part. She
Of
becomes a
government,
judge.
yeah.
Yeah,
and
Miko-
Eugene's
So there's the
rebuilding
possibilities of that.
like the railroad and stuff, and
Miko did get her storyline.
yeah, I
in the
think the
making.
culling facilities in World Beyond are like a criminally under-mentioned thing. Like the fact that they're slowly trying to reclaim cities and towns by just luring in as many dead as they can to take them out. Eventually, there's gonna be no more walkers if they keep that up.
You
if
know,
they-
I be saying that in my head all the time. At some point, everybody gonna be dead.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so they're.
But remember, that's another reason why they're probably killing. They're claiming that they're killing because of the world beyond reasons that that
Yeah.
the other communities will blah blah blah. But we know that they're using walkers
As power.
for fuel. So
yeah,
for them to
like a
keep
dead
that,
city
that
too.
community going, yeah, that's
Like,
a key
and this is my
element for
thing.
them.
If y'all don't build 1 million goddamn solar panels, like that would just be, you ain't gotta, y'all got helicopters and can't build no solar panel. Come on now. I'm sure it's not.
I mean, I thought that I saw
Come on now.
solar panels on the majority of the military.
Yeah, this
No,
solar
they need to-
panels
they
and
need
the
to
wind
figure out some more-
turbines.
I know they have multiple sources of power, but that Walker shit is nasty.
I would like
But-
to at this point, because he came in without a word. Busy,
Hey, Paul.
would you like to join the conversation?
I was about to say something.
Of course, of course.
Right.
So
How
I
you feel
want to
about
say that this was probably the most emotional episode that we've gotten in the
Yes.
last few years. For sure, it didn't need action, didn't need gore, didn't need any of that to be one of the most impactful episodes that we've ever gotten. The dialogue on its own, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was so necessary for them to beef the way they did. And the moments that we got, such as Michonne revealing the children or just different things like that, it was, man, Andy and Denai are just some of the best actors. So fucking underrated, man. And to see them kind of go crazy in this episode, it was so good. It was so good. So many comedic moments, like with the Roomba and with you got Rick yelling at the AI or whatever you call it.
He was so mad.
Where
It
is
was-
that
You're like,
thing?
what is
Good. It's like, where is that damn thing? Like, I don't know. They did such a good job with that, and it's like it's sometimes noticeable when there aren't any other characters involved with an episode, but the fact that they quite literally carry every scene that they're in either way, it wasn't noticeable that they were, the only ones involved with the entirety of this episode, and they just, they're so fucking good, man. They're so good, dude, and obviously I want to believe that we're gonna have that happy ending going into the next episode, and the next 2 episodes are just gonna be roses and rainbows, but
Oh, she gonna be pregnant
It's
before she get home.
nah, bro, yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
it's
already
everyone-
pregnant.
I
Literally.
I
They
haven't
cooking
put
the
in
fourth.
my-
They cooking up
We
the
got
fourth kid,
RJ.
bro.
She was on
They
top
went
again.
dog,
About to get
they-
Georgia.
She was like
Okay.
Tyson with the 7 rounds, bro. Like they went crazy with the amount of times they went at it,
Yeah.
bro. Like they were going like rabbits, but that's besides the points. All I know is that like I'm just really excited to see where this leads to, and I don't know, man. It was great. It was great.
And I don't think we could end this stream on any better statement than what Busy just said there. But I would like to go around, have everyone do some.
We didn't even talk about when they left the building.
Exactly.
And the yellow truck
Oh,
with the yellow
really?
ribbon.
We're gonna that little bit
What?
Yeah,
and make it out in the
Government
car.
time.
They needed
No.
to get a room,
Let me tell you
but they
something,
left
because-
About Carl.
literally,
He
because
took
what
off
I
the uniform.
literally because what I had to say is, like I said, even if they're not talking to each other, even when they're not talking to each other, you can see they're fucking just magnetized to each other. We've always been able to see that. But you could tell it ain't cohesive like how they was on their Rashawn vacation when they went and got them guns for Negan. But baby, when they left that motherfucking apartment, first of all, when I saw he didn't have a CRM uniform on, I was screaming. Then when he kissed her before they went out, I said, bitch, we back. And they fucked them walkers up. I said, it's looking like the season 1 hospital. They fucking these walkers up, going down the hallway. The energy finally shifted. They are finally on the same page. Just the way that they was running, baby. You know, they are here with each other. And then couldn't even keep their hands off each other. They get in the car. He like,
That's
stick
why I
shift.
said I love
And then
this.
she
the
climbing all over
elevator.
him.
Yeah, I love that in the elevator that we've always seen.
She
Most
grabbed
of the time,
him.
Rick is usually the one initiates things
Yes.
with them, and so for us to see that the doors closing and her arm grabbing him, I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, this is what you've been missing this whole time. You about to get it.
Exactly.
I hope they
about
kind of
to
got
get it.
this out of their system though, because I feel like knowing Scott from next episode on is just going to be a shitstorm, and they're never
I
going to
would
get
deny
another break.
writing. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
scrub
Scott
again.
wrote the last episode, they said. So
What?
they said Scott wrote 106.
Winter
see.
Fire just made a point that I didn't think about because Rick couldn't drive stick, and I'm like, what? But it's because he doesn't have.
Yeah,
Right.
I have
his
forgot
left
to.
hand.
And that's crazy, and you would think that somebody that grew up on a farm in the South would know how
Right,
to
but
drive
he doesn't
stick.
have a hand.
No, he doesn't
Because
have
of
the
his
left
hand.
hand.
Oh,
He
yeah,
doesn't
he
have the
do
left
need
hand.
to.
You need both hands.
I forgot.
I have
Yeah.
forgot to.
But that switch from the seat to the other seat.
She was like, I'm trying.
Baby, I need to drive.
And we got pet names. She was like, baby, I gotta drive.
Right? Oh my God. Y'all not gonna act like that wasn't the cutest shit. I literally went from boohoo crying to doing this when they start playing that music at the end. I said, oh, bitch, we going home.
Yes.
I was so happy.
And the choice of the music again, Deny, Chef's Kiss. The
Master with
triumphant
the pen.
music, and if everybody looks up the song, is a CB. Dad, what's the end of it? But if you follow me on Twitter, you see that I posted what the name of the song is, and there's a translation for the
jamming.
lyrics about. It's about like love and triumph and coming through. It was perfect at the end, and just the music was just right there. And when Rick when he recites the words from his dream, Michonne, to her,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
she's
And
like,
no,
"That sounds like
the way he
like
was
this man-
cheesing looking at her.
He dreams the way she speaks."
Okay, come on, somebody.
He love her.
So bad. When
At
she
the
said,
beginning-
when she was like, "Why did you come after me?" Because you're the love of my life.
My
It felt like
life.
my heart ripped. I said,
I'm
"Now
like-
this is poetic." Come on now. I love that.
And when
He
she
was just
said
looking
that
at her
I
like
love
this
So
in
he
the
could
car.
write some poetry for his children. Okay, so that was different.
when she says that that our love can't be denied. Denied was writing. Her pen
Indeed.
was on
Denied.
She was
fire.
cooking, bro.
I
On
expected nothing
fire.
less from her. And the
Oh
building
my
just
God.
falling behind them, and she just cheesing like, "Bitch, me and my man going home. Now I can't."
Yes.
Jack, we love the view of the top of your head.
Like, man, when she
I'm
pulled out
answering
when she
comments,
pulled out
okay?
that Carl phone,
First of
the
all,
beginning,
I'm
Winter.
sorry.
and did y'all notice one thing about Andy? He gonna blow a snot bubble. It was just a little snot though. It wasn't a
Oh
bubble.
yeah.
It wasn't a bubble, but it was
he
a
did
little
tap.
snot.
He did a
with
little
the
tap
Carl
to get
moment.
rid of it real
Yeah.
quick.
That's light for him. You know, he'll blow a whole snot bubble in a
he
minute.
go the full way.
He will do a Viola Davis snot. He will. He one of them people that could do that.
I
But yeah.
had to throw in a clip from my 809 video right after that Carl thing finished. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
this hit me like that did. Like
I
it had-
saw
I
that,
haven't been
Jack.
hit
I
in
saw
a
that.
while. God damn.
Yeah.
My ass starting to water. And
I love
just thinking about
Carl.
it.
I just always say to people, like, I love Carl. I love Carl bad. Like, I love that little boy. He was a menace, and I love every second of him. I don't care if he was being slick to his father, to when he was
Carl
being
was a
slick to
proper
Lord.
Child.
He knew not to play that with Michonne, and like that instant connection that they had, and just like that little flash of like Carl, like older Carl when Rick was putting the hat on before he was going off the
God.
Like I love Carl, man.
The fact they cut out one of the few times that Rick actually verbally told him that he loved him, which was in the season 7 finale, makes me so mad, because it also robbed us of another Michonne and Carl thing, and the strength of the bond that those two would have had at this point if they had been leading Alexandria together.
Oh my
for
God,
6
Michonne
years.
and Carl.
Michonne, Carl, Aaron,
Oh
Gabe,
my God.
all of them, like,
yeah, because Carl wasn't with the shit. When it was ready for stuff
never
to jump
was.
off, he was in it. He was
and I feel like
in
it would have been a similar thing with Judith, where like when in 906, when Michonne thought that Aaron brought people back, she was very aggressive and like confrontational about it, but Judith's like, but I did it, and she's like, and then she softened, and I feel like Carl would have been one of the few people, in addition obviously Judith and RJ, that could have brought that softness out of her after her being hardened by everything that she went through. And God, it just there was so much.
Carl with RJ, like him being there with his little brother.
Yeah, like him watching while Judith was teaching, like him and Gracie and the bike and shit. That would have been so fucking cute.
Yeah.
It's always agreed that
Playing peekaboo with RJ with one eye. You telling me that wouldn't be fucking adorable? Come on, man.
It's not peekaboo with one eye, please. I'm gonna need for them to get these
people with one eye are always adorable.
Yeah. Carl, that's so sad.
my
Michonne
God.
did a glorious job raising them kids.
Yeah.
She did.
And Denai did a marvelous job writing this episode.
Indeed.
Definitely.
And now from this point, so I've been waiting to get to this point. I've been waiting on the reunion. So now 5 and 6, this is where I'm personally scared in my Walking Dead heart. Like I've been happy and hopeful and very excited to watch every episode. Still thirsty as fuck to watch 5 and 6, but now it's to the point where I'm like, okay, Denai I was already looking forward to 4 because Denai said 4 was like her doing her big one. So I'm like, okay, so I already been waiting to get to the point of 4. And now that I got here, I'm like, I'm scared. So
yeah,
I
because
don't know what they're going to do. Everything's aligned perfectly, and they're heading home.
Yeah.
You know,
because I was just like, with the title, because I mentioned in Twitter.
Wait,
like,
don't tell me.
No, the title, and I'm not going to tell what the title is.
Oh,
but with the final one, I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that title.
See, I think
it's
I think it's very positive about it.
You like to hurt us.
Yeah.
I think I won't repeat what the title is, but I think it's referring to another quote that Rick has said at another time to a different character. And I think it's not going to be a negative thing.
Because the title is kind of like
it'll be a positive thing.
It reminds me of one of the quotes he said in 601. I'll just
The only reason I'm not terrified to watch it is because I know Michonne is not going to die. So, and I know Rick's not going to die. So,
how shocked would you guys be if they killed both of them?
Don't say that.
I would think
Denai would never disrespect me like that.
Yeah.
All I gotta say, I was a little worried when she put the knife in her chest and walked out. I was like, God, please don't let her fall on that knife.
Oh, I got briefly scared when she picked it up because I thought she was gonna like point it at Rick and like yell at him. I was like, Rick, you better move, sir.
Yeah. I feel like Rick and Michonne, Denai will never let me down. So
and that's why I was like, Denai posted a picture of her robe on, and it says the ones who live on the back of it, and I was like, that's all I need to know.
Oh yeah, and she been sitting there cute on Instagram with the fucking Rick and Michonne drawing on her hat. Where is that hat? I want that hat.
I have a hat.
Where? It ain't.
Where you get it from?
I'll go grab it real quick if you want to see it.
It wasn't for sale. You
got
got
it
it when you was
premiere
outside.
It wasn't for sale.
Because they got all of this Rick and Michonne stuff on the Walking Dead shop, but that fucking hat that Denai had on Instagram yesterday is not for sale. I need that hat. Run me that hat.
I will send you the link for it.
Send me the link right now.
I bought mine in navy.
Send it to me too, Joy.
Okay.
Run me that.
Because I got the
Put it in the
version
put it in
of
the Zoom right now, please.
I
Yeah,
guarantee
look,
somebody
okay.
on
grab that.
Etsy's doing it.
Because because all the good shit they got on the Walking Dead shop, I'm like, yeah, all of that's cute. I don't want none of that. Where the fuck is that hat that I had on Instagram
No
yesterday?
bullshit. I want to
Yeah.
dress up as a CRM soldier for Comic-Con.
Bro,
Shit.
I tried to use the gift cards that they gave us in the supply drops. They expire after like 3 weeks. I was like
Oh, wow.
stocking. I was stocking them.
Mine
Yeah,
don't.
if you guys haven't used your gift cards in like at least a month, I would check them because I went to use my gift cards. All of them except one had expired.
No, they
Yeah.
do mine.
And what
I have a year
what
on
I tried
mine.
to use it on, it's like,
Yeah.
sorry, it can't be used on this item. And it was the ones who live shirt. I'm like, excuse me, what the fuck can it be used on then?
Oh, they
Shit I don't
played
want to
you 'cause-
buy?
They
No.
gave you duds, bro. That's funny.
I am too sleepy for this shit.
What the fuck?
All
Really?
right.
No,
I
Jackie,
literally,
you're
I gave it to
playing.
my mom. I'm like, if you can find something you want with this, go for it. But the
There's
one
a,
thing
there's
I
a
want to
$50
buy,
minimum on it, so you got there's that restriction.
that
but
single
other than
shirt
that,
was over $50. I'm pretty sure with shipping.
Somebody's angry.
no shipping
I'm
doesn't
angry
count.
at, I shouldn't be angry. It's capitalism. I appreciate it, but not when they give me gift
so
cards I
funny.
can't fucking use.
Mm.
That's crazy. No, mine was good for a year. I still have it. It's right here.
Maybe it
Oh,
was one of
that's
my old
weird.
ones, and I didn't think it was because I didn't think they gave us one in every supply drop.
No.
They gave them in a lot of them, but yeah, like three of the four that I had stored up, they were expired, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Really?
That's not funny, but it's funny.
No, because I'm trying to save up for this trip, damn it, and I wanted to get a Ones Who Live shirt for the videos, and then I had to pay full price because I couldn't use the one card that worked on it. It was so stupid.
Well, Easter coming up, they gonna have a sale. They have one every
Yeah.
holiday. So
Yeah.
Yeah, who's gonna take advantage of that sale for me? Jesus? I don't think so. He ain't blessing me this Easter. That's for sure.
Jesus.
I don't know what to tell you, big
on
fella. I
that
don't know.
note,
Right.
you're taking the Lord of the name in vain.
Is it in vain if I feel like I ain't worth the trouble right now? I don't think that's vain. I think that's
No,
honesty.
I think Jesus owes me about $40 from the last poker game. But anyway, let's. Is it okay to do final words now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like we just had to talk about when they left.
Okay, yeah, and the hybrid car that they were in,
And the
you know,
hooded figure.
which makes this a woke show.
Oh, don't say that.
I just wanted to
Don't
mention
say
something that
Yeah.
Winterfire said in the chat earlier at the beginning. I wanted to wait to the end when they were leaving. She said that, or whoever they are said that the truck was yellow, which went with the song at the beginning, which was really cool.
Oh, that was
Very true.
Dad. Y'all good at that.
It's also kind of stands out from aerial perspective, so they might want to dirty up the truck a little bit.
Oh, that's easy.
I remember the videos back in the day making fun of how the 2010 brand new Hyundai Tucson with season 3. Those were always funny, but I saw someone mention, and I don't know if it was an Instagram comment or something on Twitter, but someone mentioned that Deny specifically inserting when the like home messages came up about the temperature,
Yeah.
and each message that was being given about the temperature was relating to the point that they were in their discussion.
Yes,
and I love that. Like when I was going back and
Yeah.
editing and I kept
The
hearing it,
parts
I was
when
like,
it was like the reaching, and then when they come back in for that second time into the apartment, it says "Welcome home."
Welcome home.
Yeah.
That's like what Kiva was talking about with the building collapsing.
mhm,
I have a feeling it wasn't really collapsing in that moment. I think it was just Rick's internal combustion kind of, because they
Rick's
lasted
moral
until the next
framework was
morning.
collapsing.
It was the next morning when they finally started to leave, and then it actually was crumbling.
I mean, he had some buildup, so they needed
They
all
went
night.
because that one side when I rewatched it for the 5th time, I heard him say it because when they were running from the other side to the other side, he was talking about how like this part is not collapsing yet because the CRM helicopter had just blew up. That helicopter, they wasn't about to run straight outside yet, so they weren't about to run straight outside anyway. So they had some time to figure their shit out. But I can't believe they found a fucking hybrid car that's also a stick shift that also had gas in it. I said, boy, look at God. I mean, that wasn't what? She pulled him out of a fucking helicopter right before that bitch crashed into a building. The CRM saw one thing about this, the deny and them was not lying when they said you think you know what's finna happen, but you don't. Everything I wanted to happen happened, but it did not happen the way that I thought it was gonna happen. And I love that because I got everything I wanted, but it was a surprise. And I love that for me.
That's the one benefit to this not being related to the comics at all now is that we have no fucking clue what they're doing, but it leaves us the ability to be surprised. Which
The one bad part of this episode, the poor Roomba.
Oh my God, bro, that broke my heart.
Like,
Literally
dude.
the very first time I said, is that a fucking Roomba?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
And that just shows their different backgrounds.
like the
He a
Rick
country
and
boy.
Morty.
He a country boy from the
She's
South.
a rich
Literally
attorney.
grew up on the farm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That shows
That's why I
their-
was like, it shows right there that yes, she's the it girl because we saw what her life was before. She was going to galleries and museums and art exhibits.
and to go out there and take 12 heads off
Which
like that.
doesn't make a lot of sense
It
because
also kinda
attorneys
goes
work about
into the
70 hours
fact-
a week.
It also goes kind of a bit into Rick's thoughts about his relationship with Michonne. But he's like, this is not a woman that I would have been able to pull.
No.
He's like, why is she with me?
He thinks the world of her, and I love that. Because why wouldn't you think highly of her? I mean,
Yeah.
look at the material. Like,
That's again, it goes into why he thinks that she would have been okay without him because he's like, what am I bringing to the table? And she's like, sir, like,
snap out of it. What's that video of New York Mama? What's not clicking? I'm gonna keep bringing that up because that is literally Michonne.
Kiava, why don't you start us off with final words, shameless self-promotion, so some of us can finish editing our reaction to get it out tonight.
Oh my God. Yeah, I got 2 reactions I need to edit. I'm way behind. But final words, final thoughts. Well, I just wanted to say you can tell from the way this episode was handled that Denai and Andy, they really care about these characters. They really care about Michonne and Rick. You can tell that there was some passion behind the way they constructed this episode and the way they acted it. And I just appreciate that because they're gonna make sure it's done correct.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say. Really, I just you guys know I love it. But yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at book_geek87 or on YouTube at the book geek 87.
Awesome. Joy?
Oh, this episode just like walloped you. It did everything that you asked for and more, answered all the questions. Deny writing, acting, executive producing, show running this episode, and feeding Andy the lines that he needed. She knew. She was like, I'm gonna put him to the test with this episode, and she did exactly that. He came through. It's just like, I'm like, okay, we're gonna start the campaign, hashtagging the Emmys, tagging them because we're getting them nominated. Like, we're not playing games with them at this point.
Yeah.
But follow me on Twitter, Joyful First, and go to Noir Nerdy because we're gonna have up tomorrow our post-mortem for this episode. So we break down all those little nuances and things you might have missed. And then the following day, we will have our spoiler free for episode 5.
Alrighty. Baby.
Well, y'all said, what I wanted to say. Only thing I got to say about this episode is what they did is to give celebrities who's playing these roles a chance to do it right. That showrunners can't do right. You give the actors, they know their characters. So hopefully in other shows, they let their actors like be in charge of writing, like with Daenerys. Like Emilia Clarke could have written her okay.
Don't even.
No, I'm not going to get into that deep. I'm not going to get into that deep. But this is what I'm talking about. You have actors take control of the situation where their characters need to be shown in a positive light or negative. I don't care. But yeah, Denai did her thing. She did it. And lets me know that she is great in everything that she does. So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram under dim_mayhem. So that's it.
Just to quickly interject, Denai is extremely talented. not every actor has the ability to craft a story the way that she has. So
Oh no, I know that. I know that.
It's nice when an actor who knows their character very well gives input to a writer. And if they are extremely talented as well and they get to write an episode, awesome. But I wouldn't expect it from, I don't know, Sean Bean. There's a bunch of people who I would not necessarily...
Why is Sean Bean taking shots right now? Like,
I literally don't even know what he's talking about.
I'll tell you later. But Karina, go ahead.
Winter's coming.
It is very obvious that Andy and Denai are the biggest Rashoners.
Mm-hmm.
They love us, and we couldn't ask for anything better. So I cannot wait to own this season. Physical media, everyone, get your physical media.
Yes.
2D Taurus on Twitter.
All right, Alex.
Well, I'm not really going to say anything anybody hasn't already heard. I love Denai. I love Andy. They did amazing. They brought it to us. They have really given us life in this series so far and everything that we really needed. And I cannot wait to see what else happens. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram and YouTube at the same name, TWD Mombie. Thanks for stopping by. And it was really nice to meet you, Kiva.
Yeah.
Of course, you disappeared for a moment. She may be back.
Sorry, I'm still here.
Miss Kayla.
Okay, first off, this episode was amazing. I'm probably gonna watch it for the third time when I get off. So yeah, I'm watch it again. And I'm sorry I'm so quiet all the time, y'all. I'm just in shock of being amongst all these wonderful people, and some people I've watched for years, like Michonne, like I watch her for a very long time. But it's just nice to be around people who love Walking Dead just as much as I do. So that's why I'm so quiet, because I'm just listening to all of you and just mesmerized, really. So, but y'all can find me on Twitch at Miss Kayla Gaming, and you can find me here on YouTube at Miss Kayla is my name on YouTube. So, and I'm sorry I haven't been like going live and streaming and stuff like that. Work is working me to death, literally. So I'm always tired. So, but yeah, amazing episode again, and I'm scared for the next couple episodes. I'm really scared. So yeah.
I hear you. All right, Michond.
I just want to,
smile.
you and me, us have one. Like when I tell y'all that is me, okay?
Yeah,
Like, that is me again. I'm a lover girl. All of the things, the hopeless romantic, whatever you want to call it. And for my favorite TV show, I'm going to keep reiterating this, for my favorite TV show to make an epic love story. They made this for me. This is for me. Me and everybody that feel like me. Can't nobody tell me shit. Don't know how TV can ever get better than this. I need the DVD. They don't even make VHS tapes no more, but I would take that as well. Yeah, they just gonna have to run me all of that. My reaction is already on talking.
Laserdisc. Beta.
And I need oh yeah, and I just uploaded. I do not get these jokes. We're gonna talk about this because I just did the 7th Harry Potter movie and Deathly Hallows, and I'm falling asleep. I don't know how y'all doing this. The first 5 was cool.
Oh,
Miss K, let me tell you something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was cool. 6 and 7 falling asleep. I'm mad. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna watch 8. We're gonna talk about it. But yeah, talkingneedtv.com, y'all.
Miss Kayla, I'm with you.
right.
Despicable.
Tomaj.
Breaks my heart.
Denai did her big one. Y'all know I'm Denai's biggest fan. I got to give her due. She delivered us a Rishon love letter, and I will forever be grateful for it. I can't really say nothing that hadn't been said, so I'm just going to leave it at thank you, Denai, for your hard work, for your love, for your passion.
Yeah.
Thank you for Rishon. Thank you, Scott Gimple, for giving us Rishon, because Robert Kirkman didn't have the backbone to do it. So shout out to Scott for that too. And
wait,
shout
but
out
we gotta get Kirkman his props because he made a black woman character we ain't never seen before. He did give us that one.
Yeah.
But
And he's come back and he said that she's the most profitable, most recognizable. She's the biggest character in this fandom. And he said he's glad that Scotty G changed the story around and clears his favorite episode. So, you know, I got
It wasn't Kirkman slander. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. But
It's the woman from Fortnite.
Shut up, bro.
y'all can find me at Big Bro Lil Sis Reacts, Walking Dead Universe Reactor. I got everything you want and more.
Awesome.
Yeah, he watching everything over there.
Yeah, it'd
Literally.
be.
I could go on if you want me to.
No, please. It would be shorter
Break out
for you to
the
tell us what
scroll.
you don't watch. But Jack,
That would be shorter.
I'm kind of with Tomaj. Everyone pretty much said everything I've been feeling. Denai did an amazing job. I am really excited to see where things are going to wrap up with this season, not series. Jesus going to have to wait Sunday for the finale because I'm going to be fully invested in this. And if we do not get some awards for this season and this episode, I'm going to be so upset.
we riot.
You know, the
I
only
agree.
awards
We need some awards.
The only awards I know that Walking Dead has received multiple of over the years is the Saturn Awards. I don't know nobody else that pay their dues to Walking Dead like the Saturn Awards does.
Yeah.
And we need more.
People have gotten awards on the regular big primetime ones for like makeup and special effects, but
definitely, because y'all
acting
ain't gonna deny
or
us in that
directing.
area. This is
Yeah,
the Walking
no.
Dead now.
Yeah.
Nicotero and them be working, okay?
Yes.
All right.
He got
Yeah,
his
I wanna
own
go to
company
Nicotero
just for
house.
makeup, right?
What's
What?
that?
What, Tamaj?
Oh, I thought Nicotero, don't he have his own company for makeup? Like he has his own makeup
Yes,
company
that
just
man
for
do
like
everything.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He is
He been
under,
doing
um,
this. He
He
been doing
came
this
up
longer
under
than
one
I've
of
been
the
alive.
greats.
It
He
could
came
be
up with us
death.
for one
It
of the
could be
greats. Tom
Nicoteroline.
Savini is the one who put Greg Nicotero on. And
Nicotero
Tom,
been doing this before I was born.
yeah.
Before
But
we
Tom
were born.
Savini is who he learned a lot of his stuff from, and
Speak for
he
yourself.
is a genius at what he does. So yeah.
Cal, you're funny.
I've met and interviewed Mr. Savini, and he is definitely
Mm-hmm.
I
a
want
great
to go.
fellow.
I want to go to Nicotero. I was about to. Never. I want to go to Nicotero. I almost said nigga. I'm sorry.
I mean, hey, he might have earned it at this point. Shit, he does some great work.
Like, stop. Let's be serious.
Get a
Like, I
hashtag
want to go to
trending, Michonne.
Nicotero factory thing, that warehouse. I want to go to one of his warehouses so bad. Okay, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
All I know really about him is he really likes very expensive tequila. Busy.
Again, I mentioned this before, but again, I think it's the best. I want to say it's the best episode of the series. It's right up there with one.
It is the
with
best.
episode with this season, excuse me. I don't know about the entire series. It's a really close call, but at the end of the day, I love the acting. I love seeing them together, and I'm really excited for more. You can find me at Busy Braun everywhere. Busy Reactions on Instagram, and my reaction's already out, so go check it out. I got a wonderful team of reactors with me checking it out, so go watch it.
Awesome. And my final thoughts is this was okay. No, I'm kidding. I will be lynched. No, it was an excellent episode, and I love the fact that it didn't need to be action-packed. It was just, it was raw. And that's what we needed. And I do believe that this series has brought TWD back into, popularity. I don't know if we'll see another Walker Soccer Con, but a well-run one. But but still, it's definitely brought interest back to this universe. So we will be back next week. Maybe the same cast of characters. Depends on who's working and who's eating and all that kind of stuff. Because, I'm glad finally I was surrounded by the ladies. I was drowning in estrogen.
You was on your
You're
own
the
in here.
ladies, man.
I was like, I just
Each
don't
of
want to
it
be
on.
Me Too'd because I had all women around me, and it's like, I arranged it.
Stop it.
I wasn't no good last week. My
Man
bad.
is complaining like, it's too many ladies around here. I need more sausage in this soup. Come on now.
But we'll be back next week. So thanks everyone. Thanks you guys for being here, and thanks everyone in the chat for showing up. And this is like our most successful live stream series. And we owe it also to Denai and Andy for doing, such amazing jobs. But we will see everyone next week. Thanks again, North of 60, for the super chat. And Governor and this amazing crew, we are out. Everyone look awkward.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.